With LinkedIn Jobs, we tap into a network of more than 1 billion professionals to help you find quality professionals quickly and easily for any role you need. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found.
That project manager I could never seem to hire?
And found. LinkedIn Jobs quickly matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience. In fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/decide. That's linkedin.com/decide. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
All right, places, please. The Daly Migs Show is on deck. Guitars plugged in. Drums ready to go. Chickens.
They're clucking.
Other animals. And action.
This is the Daly Migs Show on The Rock with Taryn Daly and Steve Migs.
While listening to the Daly Migs Show, please refrain from any unnecessary finger gesturing.
99.9 KISW.
Good morning, Rockaholics. Happy Tuesday. We on the Daily Migs Show think we might have a ghost in the studio because a picture just flew off the wall and broke on the ground.
While Voodoo was playing by Godsmack.
So we may need to perform an exorcism in here. I'm not exactly sure. But before we get to that, we're going to get you Rockaholics informed.
Knowledge is power. So give us 5-ish minutes and we'll give you, some interesting stuff you can talk about at work. This is the Daily Migs Download.
AKA the DMD.
Here's your daily dose of doings happening in the world.
And the DMD is brought to you by Palace Lawn. Today's your day to love your pet. And Taryn, I know you loved your pet a little too much over the weekend.
I loved my pet $500 worth over the weekend.
We will definitely have to talk more about that before the show is over this morning. Maybe after Beat Migs at 6:50.
Yes, ouch.
Because apparently you dropped $500. Another coworker ended up dropping $900, all because you love your pet a little too much. Also today, it's a big day. No, it's not Warrant Day. National Cherry Pie Day.
Are you a cherry pie fan?
No.
That's like that would be my least favorite of the pies.
That is the type of pie that I need to put as much whipped cream as humanly possible on top of just to stomach it.
I'll just put it in the garbage.
Well, I'm still willing to give it a chance.
I'll watch the music video all day, though.
All right, you know who I'm not willing to give a chance anymore is our Seattle Kraken. I'm done with them. No, I'm kidding. But that was frustrating, man. What a hard-fought game. It did not look like they were going to win that game, and they were able to get it into overtime. And, well, yes, they did not win that game. They ended up giving up a goal a minute into overtime. Vince Dunn, I don't know what the hell you were thinking during that last play. But was it Ben Sherratt scored about a minute into overtime, crushing our afternoon hopes and dreams of a Seattle Kraken win. It was awesome to see. Climate Pledge Arena was rocking at like noon. Was it 12:30? I think the game went on. And it was a fun game to watch. And Patrick Kane from, he scored his 800th career assist. That was pretty cool, I guess, if you're a fan of the Red Wings. Man, Jared McCann had a couple of goals. He's been playing really well recently, so hopefully the team can follow suit. Joey Decord looked fine. Their goalie was playing phenomenal, though. Man, that guy, it just seemed it was impossible to put a puck behind the net. And, frustrating. But up next, the Kraken take on the Vancouver Canucks on Thursday night. Let's go.
Yes, go Kraken. The owner of Full Tilt Ice Cream is fighting for his life. He suffered a heart attack about 2 weeks ago. Reportedly woke his wife up in the middle of the night and told her to call 911. Turns out he was having a massive heart attack and has been in critical condition ever since. So the wife, Anne, has said that she's very grateful for all of the community support that they have received. A lot of friends and members of the community reaching out. They've started a GoFundMe. And so far, they've raised about $35,000 with a $50,000 goal. And she also wants everyone to know that the ice cream shop will remain open during these challenging times.
That's awful.
Yeah, real rotten.
Hopefully everything's going to turn out all right for you.
Sure.
Madonna, it wasn't just the Kraken that are hitting the boards at Climate Pledge Arena. I don't know if you guys saw the video, but she apparently hit the boards as well over at CPA during her performance on Sunday, which honestly, up until Sunday where I saw everybody and their sister was posting, and brother and mother and father all posting about how they were going to a Madonna concert, I had no idea she was even coming to town.
I knew she was coming, but I forgot that it was this weekend, but I was also bombarded with stories and posts on the gram.
So many of my friends I did not even think were Madonna fans ended up at the Madonna concert. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea what was going on with that situation. I had zero interest. Like, there was no FOMO on my end. There was no like, man, I wish I was there for that. Not at all. I even saw some of the video clips. I'm like, I'm so glad I wasn't there for that. Although it would be kind of fun to see her fall down because she's fine. I mean, of course, you don't want to see someone fall and get hurt. But apparently one of her dancers was holding her on a chair, like she leaned back, and then the dancer tripped as she was dragging her across the stage, and then Madonna fell as well. She started laughing, but the best part is while she started laughing, her vocals didn't change whatsoever, clearly proving that she was singing to a vocal track. Not as if we needed to even guess that.
I'm really more worried about the dancer because the dancer was wearing very high heels, and it didn't just look like a slip. It looked like an ankle injury.
Damn.
But the show must go on.
Does that dancer get to stay as a dancer for the Madonna tour? I wonder if she's like laughing it off, but then when they get back to the backstage area, she's like, what the F is wrong with you?
So there were 5 cyclists over the weekend that were attacked by at least one cougar in Falls City. It was about 5 miles outside of Snoqualmie. And they said that they survived because they were able to pin the cougar down with a bike. Yeah.
What?
So insane. It is believed that there could have been a second cougar. Some of the eyewitnesses, which I'm assuming are the other folks in this group, said that they saw a second cougar, which is very scary. One of the women who was attacked is in the hospital being treated for injuries, but they said that she should be okay.
She's like 60 years old as well. Yeah.
Totally wild. Sergeant Carlo Pace is with the Fish and Wildlife Police, and he commented on what happened.
The Fish and Wildlife officer shot and killed this cougar before it could do more damage. They held him down with a mountain bike. I don't know how they did it, but they did. So you want to act big, you want to make noise, you want to act large, you want to fight back if you're attacked.
Yeah, because they say they're used to cougars are used to their prey running from them. So if you run, they're going to go after you.
Wow. So act big.
Yeah, act big. Roar, just like that. Steve, you did great. Keep practicing. You're going to be fine.
They also said, pick up small children immediately. I think I saw, of course. You got to face the cougar. I'm looking at the list of things you're supposed to do. Talk to it firmly while slowly backing away. Always leave the animal an escape route. And appear large, like you mentioned. Don't take your eyes off the cougar. Never approach the cougar. We're not talking about hot older women. We're actually talking about the animals. That's crazy. Hey, as far as weather, we're getting a high of 54 degrees. It's going to rain, and that's what's up.
Well, over the weekend, we all got to hang out, and we hung at a hotel for a night. While we were there, however, there was some screaming from another room. The police ended up showing up. There was an electric guitar, a keyboard, and a tinfoil hat. We're going to tell you what happened at 6:20.
The Daly Migs Show.
Oh, should we start this show?
Yeah, I'm down. Just buying a car on Carvana first.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's super convenient. I already got pre-qualified in 2 minutes. All I had to do is answer a few questions.
Ooh, that's helpful.
And now just customizing my down and monthly payments.
Ooh, that's a very fair deal.
Yep. Boom. Just bought a car. And you get to take me to the Carvana vending machine in a couple days to pick it up.
Ooh. I'm kind of busy.
Visit Carvana.com to finance your next car.
Financing subject to credit approval.
Love the flexibility of working in all sorts of places? Well, working on the go seamlessly requires a strong network like T-Mobile. We have America's largest 5G network, so whether you're on a video call at the park or uploading large files at a coffee shop, we have the 5G speed you need. Whatever takes you on the go, T-Mobile's got you covered. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/network today.
Coverage not available in some areas. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
With LinkedIn Jobs, we tap into a network of more than 1 billion professionals to help you find quality professionals quickly and easily for any role you need. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found.
That project manager I could never seem to hire?
And found. LinkedIn Jobs quickly matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience. In fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/decide. That's linkedin.com/decide. Terms and conditions apply.
Rockaholics, we are positive that something insane has happened to you while at a hotel. We want to know what it was. So call us up, 206-803-ROCK. The reason we are talking about this is because our Friday night was a little wild.
Yeah, so Friday we did a whole team bonding thing. Well, we had a bunch of meetings and stuff like that. And then afterwards, Ryan Castle's like, let's just have a fun night out. Let's get dinner, let's get hotels, and let's just be stupid.
You know what? The last word really resonates.
Oh, yes. There was a lot of stupidity that went down. And some of the stupidity had nothing to do with us. So we ended up finishing our stuff and we went back. We finally checked into the hotel at 3 in the afternoon. And I remember being in my room. And the minute I get in the room, first of all, I won't say the name of the hotel. Because, it felt like a refurbished crack house. Did it not?
Yeah, a little bit.
It was a couple blocks from where we work, which was cool. But, I remember walking in there, and it was the rooms were the size of a closet. And I remember, I was like, I'm going to take a shower, freshen up. And I tried to move the shower head, and it pulled out of the wall. And it was just stuff was coming out of it. I was just like, oh, man, this might be the last shower I take at this hotel.
Well, also, you later in the evening, I remember you said you couldn't turn the heat off in your room.
No.
And my room was on the complete opposite, polar express in my room.
Right.
It was bananas.
So then I get into the room, and I'm like, all right, whatever. This is fine. It's clean enough. I was like, I'll just wear my socks when I walk around on the floor. I'm thinking about my wife. I texted her immediately and said, you would not like this hotel whatsoever. You would be like, let's just get our money back and let's get out of here.
My favorite part, too, is that I've stayed in that hotel before. And I warned you guys before we went there. And I remember you guys looking up the pictures online.
It looked nice.
And you guys said, nah, it can't be that. And I was like, well, maybe for all I know, they refurbished it. They did refurbish it. However, the hotel still stands the way that I remember it.
And I stayed there once, probably 10 or 11 years ago. I kind of feel the same way as you, Danny. And I think that they have refurbished it since I stayed there.
That was my favorite part. Is we finally meet up after we got situated. I'm like, man, this place is kind of a dump. And Danny's like, it's a lot nicer than the last time I was here. And I'm just like, excuse me, this place was whatever. Yeah. So now I'm just in the room and I'm hearing muffled sounds of another room yelling and screaming and cursing. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. Somebody's having an argument, apparently. And then it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. For a good 30 minutes, I just keep hearing it, but it's not anywhere near me. But I'm thinking, I should go walk around and figure out where this is and maybe let hotel security know. Because this person is screaming the F word, the S word, and he doesn't sound very happy. There's some things being banged around. And when I'm getting ready to do that, we get a text message from our friend Sarah, who's like, hey, this insane situation is going on in the room 2 doors over from where she was staying. Because I was on the 6th floor, she was on the 7th floor. And I heard it plain as day in my room. It was crazy.
So you heard the muffled version. Sarah heard the unmuffled version.
Right. She heard the clear. And of course, a good reporter that she is, and she's not a reporter, but a good person that she is, she pulled out her cell phone and recorded it. And just to give you guys a taste of what it sounded like. But this was going on for a solid 30 minutes. And we bleeped out the curses, of course.
Hey! You!
No, he was never talking to anyone. That's why I was at first I was a little concerned for somebody.
It was a one-way conversation.
So I was getting ready to go tell security about what's going on, but Sarah's I already told them. And then we go and talk to security, and we find out that this person wasn't fighting with anyone. This person wasn't yelling at anyone in particular. This person was playing video games. Screaming at the top of his lungs, playing video games. And apparently he stayed there before, and the lady's like, yeah, we've had this issue with him before. He's never going to stay here again.
Wow. I'm so curious as to what game it was.
Oh, probably Super Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Brings out the worst of people. It's got to be a Call of Duty type of a game, I'd imagine.
Or what's the other one? It's not Grand Theft Auto, Danny. That one you wouldn't scream out, would you?
No, you would.
You would? Okay.
Yeah.
But I was nervous. I'd imagine, Sarah, you were probably thinking, what am I staying next to when all this is going on?
It actually was terrifying.
Well, you heard that slam too. If they were throwing
he was throwing something. Oh yeah. And this was right next to my room. And so I when I was about to go in to the room, I just stood outside the room and just listened to it for a while because I was immediately is there another person in the room? But I didn't hear anything, but I was it just kept going and going.
For over 30 minutes.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, he's real mad. He's got to get like a different teammate or something.
So they say they had it all situated. Everything was good. We go off. We go get dinner. And then we're planning what we're going to do for the rest of the night. And then Danny and I and one of our buddies, Steve, who was there, like he was kind of like a dude from out of town that was like having our meetings with us and all that cool stuff. We're like, we'll go back to the hotel, make sure he's all good for the rest of the night. And then we'll meet up with you guys afterwards. So we bring him back to the hotel via Uber. I'm getting ready to go meet up with Danny in the lobby, and I'm waiting at the elevator, and the elevator door opens, and there's 3 police officers, and they're holding, like, those riot squad shields. And I'm just like, I'll take the next elevator. And they just looked at me like, yeah, sorry, whatever. Wait for the next elevator, and now I'm like, this elevator's taking forever. Next one opens, 2 police officers. They both had the shields. And I'm like, I'm going in this one. I don't care. There's room. And I look at one of the police officers, and she has an electric guitar in one hand. The other police officer has a keyboard in one hand. And then the female police officer also has a tinfoil hat in the hand. And I'm just looking at them like, and I looked at them, and I'm just like, what's going on? They're like, well, this is what happens when you take stuff out of the refrigerator that you're not supposed to. And I'm just like, huh? And they just start laughing. They're like, oh, you don't want to know. And in my head, I'm like, I kind of do want to know. Like, what was it the same guy? Was there something else going on? And what was he creating with this tinfoil hat, a keyboard, and an electric guitar?
I like that it was like a jam session, but also a conspiracy theory going on at the same time.
And why did they have the riot, the riot shields?
What's really wild is that this wasn't even the craziest thing that happened during our night out. Not even close.
This was just the start.
But we don't have time to get to it all today. So we want you to tune in tomorrow around this time, about 6:25. We're going to tell you how the night ended with us all getting kicked out of a bar.
Yeah. Tomorrow at 6:20.
Because we're classy.
We'll let you know what's going on.
So, Rockaholics, we are asking you, what is the most insane thing that has ever happened to you while you were at a hotel? 206-803-ROCK. We are going to take your calls after Aerosmith.
The Daily Migs Show.
We know something insane has happened to you while you were at a hotel. So what was that? Give us a call now, 206-803-ROCK. Will in Lacey, the housekeeper made your bed with you still in it.
What?
Yeah, so I was sleeping, in the process of trying to be asleep, and my roommate, the guy I was rooming with, a friend of mine, was watching TV, and I heard a door open, and then she started vacuuming. I'm like, all right, that's annoying, whatever. A few minutes later, I felt the sheets under my legs being tucked in. And then I looked up, and she was walking away, and I was just in such disbelief, I was almost petrified.
Oh, my God.
Do you think she was just like, screw it, I'm in here, I might as well just clean up? Or did she not realize you were there until she started making the bed?
She had to have known I was there. My head was up. You could obviously,
right.
You could see, like, my body, like, the shape of it under the bed. I think she just said, I'm just going to make this guy's bed. I don't care if he's still in it.
Maybe she just wanted you to be all cozy.
That is hilarious.
I mean, I guess maybe it was a mother figure in her or something. I don't know, but...
Did she do anything else in the room other than make the bed?
I don't know. I think she was vacuuming, but...
How great of a night did you have the night before that you didn't even hear her vacuuming?
It was so long ago where it's kind of hard to remember what, transpired, but I just plainly remember my sheet and, blanket being tucked in under my leg.
That is hilarious. It also makes me wonder, like, at some point, like, do you think, like, her boss pulled her aside and was like, hey, Cheryl, you have to make sure nobody's in the room if you're going to do the housekeeping stuff. You can't be making beds while people are still laying them. I feel like that might not be the only time she's done something like that.
Are you the type that always puts the do not disturb sign on the outside?
I try to remember to do that, but there have been a few instances, typically on our radio conventions, where I've maybe had one too many drinks that I instantly regretted at like 8 a.m. and my door is being opened and I'm like yelling, no, I'm still in here. But more often than not, I usually, once I check in, I take that do not disturb and put it on the door because I'm like, I know I'm not going to want anyone coming into my room early in the morning.
And if I do need something, I'll call. Mm-hmm. But I don't need anything.
I remember back in my dumb drunk days, though, like when I was a lot younger and dumber, I would go around taking all the do not disturbs off of people's doors. Because I like chaos. And I was like, this would be hilarious. But I never got to see the punchline of the joke other than me being a jackass.
So the hotel that we stayed at over the weekend on Friday night, the Crack House, when I stayed there the last time, I woke up, I was sleeping next to my husband, Brad, and I woke up in the morning, early in the morning, probably even before first light, because I was sticky. and I was sticky on my
Excuse me?
hands. I felt sticky on my chest.
Excuse me?
There was sticky in the bed, and I'm like, what is this? And then I turned the light on, and I realized everything was like a blue color. All of the stickiness was blue. And I'm like, what? I could not figure out what it was.
Did aliens show up and probe you too?
My husband had fallen asleep with a piece of gum in his mouth.
Uh-huh.
Like blue something gum.
Okay.
And it like liquefied in his mouth and got all over us. It was in my hair. It was in his hair. I was like, this is insane.
How big of a wad of gum was this?
I have no idea. And he has quit drinking, but this was during the days when he still drank.
Okay.
So I think he just must have passed out with gum in his mouth. And it ended up getting all over us, all over the bed. Like to the point where you couldn't even really fall back asleep because you're just laying in like liquefied sticky gum.
Did you let the hotel know what happened, or
What am I going to tell them?
hey, we have some sticky sheets, just to let you know. Hey, heads up.
Put a little tip on the pillow. Thanks for taking care of that.
We got some blue sticky sheets in here, just so you know.
We have an alien kink. It's really weird. Just don't ask questions.
Right. We'll tip you an extra $40. Just act like it never happened.
Do you have any other hotel horror stories for yourself?
The worst one was, I remember my wife and I, we went, I mean, I'm sure a few that will pop into my head as we continue to talk about it, but when my wife and I went to Disneyland, and we stayed at a hotel, and it was around the time when there was an earthquake, which wasn't the craziest part at the hotel, even though that was kind of nuts, because we didn't even realize there was an earthquake going on until we saw like the little reader on the news, and it said an earthquake has hit Anaheim, and we're like, that's weird, we haven't felt anything. 2 seconds later, we felt it. We're like, oh, okay, that's what they're talking about. But I clogged the toilet, and I didn't think I did until the water started overflowing.
No!
And there was no plunger. They don't have like just plungers in every room, even though I contend that at some point lawmakers need to make that a rule at hotels.
Or when you make your reservation and you call ahead and say, hi, we're coming this day, can you please stock our room with a plunger? Would probably be.
Or maybe the concierge, they should be like, what's your diet like? You know what, we're going to put a plunger in there. We're looking at you. You're a big guy. What do you like to eat? All right, yeah, let's take a plunger in there.
I mean, how much overflowage was there? It just wouldn't stop?
It was all over the bathroom floor. Oh my God. Not nothing, like just the water. Yeah. Nothing terrible. It wasn't like a crime scene or anything like that, but it was still embarrassing. And then we had a call, and then they show up, and I'm just like looking at them. You know, of course, we put as many towels down as we can, but I was just like, I'm sorry. I could not apologize more to this guy. And you could tell he just looked at me like, it's okay. Just stop apologizing and let me just clean this up.
So it was like a maintenance guy had to come up and fix your problem.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's so great. Steve in Ording, your wife rode a life-size statue of a deer at a hotel.
Yes, she did.
You sound very proud.
Well, no, it was, she used to sell jewelry, and if, the top salesman would earn a trip. So our first trip was to Maui, and so they have a big, welcome to Maui party, which we went to and partied for quite a while. And on our way back through the hotel, there's this giant life-size deer that, to me, it appeared to be made out of jade, which in my head, this is a very expensive deer.
Ooh.
And the next thing I know, my wife beelines for the deer and jumps on its back and grabs its antlers and just starts, riding it.
That's awesome.
I also like, of all the statues that they would put in Maui, it's a deer. Like, is there like a big deer population in Maui?
I don't believe so.
Maybe her Christmas?
The one that was there did get ridden.
Did anybody make her dismount the deer?
Well, I finally drug her off the deer.
You're like, we've had enough of this.
But the next morning, it was... So we snuck down to the poolside, just going, oh, God, I hope nobody saw her riding the deer. And I had to return back to the room to get something. And as soon as I grabbed it, and I run and I jump on the elevator, and there's two people standing on the elevator, and we do the typical, stand in the elevator, just kind of looking at the wall. And
right.
All of a sudden, these people are kind of looking at me. And I'm like, what the heck? And this guy turns around and goes, hey, was that your wife riding the deer last
night? That is awesome. A memorable trip.
If I saw you at a bar and I was there and I witnessed it, I'd buy you both shots for that. I'd be like, that was like the best entertainment ever.
Yeah, well, it was pretty cool because his wife sold jewelry for the same company, and we actually became friends and hung out. So it was kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Steve.
Honestly, that sounds like a night out with Steve Migs when he's drinking, because anytime he sees anything, Taryn, I'm warning you.
You like to ride?
Yes. He will be like, guys, I got to get on that. Like, there was like a school bus.
There was a giant school bus statue that was in Dallas, right by our hotel. And I don't know why, but I didn't even know I did it until the next day when I was looking through the pictures on my phone, and somebody took a picture and texted it to me.
Do you think in another life you could have been a cowboy?
Oh, I still think I have hope in this life.
A rhinestone cowboy.
You know it. I do like this real quick. This one text that says, I stayed in Vegas for our honeymoon. Same hotel as the AVN Awards. Let's just say my new wife elbowed me in the ribs for geeking out quite a bit during that honeymoon.
I went to the AVN Awards one year. I can concur that it's wild.
I can only imagine.
I did not stay in the same hotel as that, but we went to it.
What a conundrum for this guy. Just got married, and now he's seeing all the ladies that he used to hang out with before he married this woman.
That is so hot. Well, how would you like to beat Steve? He is currently 44, 13, and 5 in 2024. The number to call is 206-803-ROCK, and we will be playing Beat Migs at 6:50.
The Daly Migs Show.
With LinkedIn Jobs, we tap into a network of more than 1 billion professionals to help you find quality professionals quickly and easily for any role you need. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found. That project manager I could never seem to hire?
And found. LinkedIn Jobs quickly matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience. In fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/decide. That's linkedin.com/decide. Terms and conditions apply.
Love the flexibility of working in all sorts of places? Well, working on the go seamlessly requires a strong network like T-Mobile. We have America's largest 5G network, so whether you're on a video call at the park or uploading large files at the coffee shop, we have the 5G speed you need. Whatever takes you on the go, T-Mobile's got you covered. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/network today.
Coverage not available in some areas. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With LinkedIn Jobs, we tap into a network of more than 1 billion professionals to help you find quality professionals quickly and easily for any role you need. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found.
That project manager I could never seem to hire?
And found. LinkedIn Jobs quickly matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience. In fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/decide. That's linkedin.com/decide. Terms and conditions apply.
Love the flexibility of working in all sorts of places? Well, working on the go seamlessly requires a strong network like T-Mobile. We have America's largest 5G network, so whether you're on a video call at the park or uploading large files at the coffee shop, we have the 5G speed you need. Whatever takes you on the go, T-Mobile's got you covered. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/network today.
Coverage not available in some areas. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The Daly Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa! Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs? I know Michelle from Bonnie Lake is. Michelle, are you there?
I am here.
I'm Sarah, your host, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve.
Bye-bye.
For those playing at home, Michelle has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Let's do this. Cowgirl up. Time to ride the deer statue.
Yeah, buddy. Yeehaw. What is the first letter of the Greek alphabet?
O.
No.
Q.
No.
Don't know. Pass.
The first iPod was introduced in what early 2000s year?
2003.
No.
4, 5.
No. What is the world's fastest land animal?
Cheetah.
Yes. What kingdom does the Black Panther rule?
Jumanji.
No.
Oh, no. The Black Panther rules the jungle.
No.
Not Wakanda.
Wakanda, yes. What singer recently dropped a country song titled Texas Hold'em?
Miranda Lambert.
No.
No. Oh, no, God, it's not Texas Hold'em. It's, oh, damn it, I just saw this. Pass.
Oh,
I know
Michelle. Well, you got two correct. Yes, you did indeed.
Again.
Michelle, you got as many as I got when I had to play Beat Migs a couple weeks ago. So we are sisters.
Karen.
Yeah.
I know this one. I just can't think of it.
Oh, boy, Steve. Well, you got your work cut out for you or something.
I smell sarcasm over there.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
What is the first letter of the Greek alphabet?
Alpha.
Yes. The first iPod was introduced in what early 2000s year?
I'm going to go 2001.
You'd be correct.
Boom.
What is the world's fastest land animal?
Fastest land animal. A cheetah.
It is. What kingdom does the Black Panther rule?
Wakanda.
Yes.
Wakanda forever.
What singer recently dropped a country song titled Texas Hold'em?
Oh, Beyonce.
Yep. What number shares a symbol with the pound sign on a standard keyboard?
Is that the number 8?
No.
7.
No.
3.
Yes. What was the best-selling video game console of the 1990s?
I'm going to go Nintendo.
No.
Sega.
No.
Xbox.
No.
Son of
What
a-
band has the songs If You're
PlayStation?
Gone and Push? Yeah, PlayStation.
If you're gone and push. Matchbox 20?
Yes. What is the most abundant element in the universe?
Gold.
No.
Silver.
No.
Rock.
No. The soundtrack of which Disney animated feature includes many Elvis Presley songs?
Ratatouille?
No. Steve.
It's not even a Disney movie? Yeah, it is. All right. How about that?
You got 7 correct, which is a big win, 7-2. Michelle, at least you got 2 correct, all right?
Yahoo! Another country.
You know, that's the kind of attitude we need in the morning.
Yeah.
I really thought you were going to do almost a perfect 10. You were on a roll.
I was feeling real good.
Were you also feeling lucky? Because that sounded like guess.
Don't mistake how I say the answers as guesses.
They were confident guesses.
A lot of them I was just kind of warming up, and then it finally hit me. Okay, they were all guesses.
You eventually got PlayStation.
The 3 was definitely a lucky guess.
That was,
Oh, yeah. That was
That blew my
impressive.
mind.
Yeah.
What is the most abundant element in the universe? Hydrogen.
Oh.
And the soundtrack of which Disney animated feature film includes many Elvis Presley songs?
No idea.
Lilo and Stitch.
I don't think I've ever watched that show.
I watched it once a
That
gazillion
show?
years ago. I do not remember any Elvis being involved, but apparently it's the truth.
Do you have issues with people calling movies shows?
Yeah, that just
I
really
could tell.
irritated me. And Taryn didn't even notice.
Do you have an issue with it, or do you call movies shows?
I don't know.
I know it's a dumb question, but it's, it's
Do you get upset when people call shows programs?
No, I have no issues with anyone calling anything anything. As long as I'm tracking, I'm fine.
It's different, though. A show is a show and a movie is a movie. They're different things.
Are they?
Yes, they are. A movie.
I didn't say a TV show. I just said it's a show. When you're trying to go see a movie, what do you check?
Showtimes.
Boom.
I check the movie times.
That's
How
a
old
lie.
are you?
Now you're just saying that.
We call in our landline and we check the showtimes.
Yes, we call 1-900 movie phone.
No, they're different.
They're called showtimes.
They're called movie times.
They're definitely called showtimes because it's what time the movie is showing.
Show me on the internet where it says movie times. You don't really have to.
I'm literally about to go to Google.
While Sarah's doing some research here.
Oh, I was all fired up, though. You mentioned iPhone. I got a new iPhone, you guys.
And it took a little while to get all your stuff transferred over, yeah?
Yes.
Are you a phone hoarder?
I have a massive issue with keeping everything on my phone ever since having it. I mean, I was like that before we had Tatum, but now having Tatum, every day I have at least a handful of pictures and maybe a video or two of her doing something silly. And I'm trying to be better about like uploading those either to like a hard drive or to my Dropbox account, but that doesn't happen. And that's been what has been keeping me from getting a new cell phone for the longest time, because I'm like, I don't have time to clean up my phone, but I don't want to have to go through that process of transferring everything over. But finally, my phone was just not working. It was just done. I realized I had like an iPhone 11, so we're old school.
I'm a Droid person, so I don't even know what that means.
Okay, we're at 15 now.
Whoa. Oh, okay.
The funny part is we brought it to the Verizon store, and they're like, it's a good thing you brought it this year, because if you waited any longer, we wouldn't even take the 11 as like a way to get like some money back. So you can, because you get a discount if you give them back your old phone. So they're like, okay, we'll transfer. My wife took 15 minutes to transfer all of our information from the new old phone to the new phone. They looked at me and go, sir, can you just come back in a couple of hours? It's like really? And they're like, yeah. Be a minute. They're like, you're not the worst. Don't feel bad. One time it took them 5 hours to transfer someone's information. I'm just like, what the hell do they have on that phone?
Okay, so as an Android person, I'm just curious about the experience for you as an iPhone user. Do you get like the little notification that tells you that your phone is running out of room a lot?
No, because not too often. It's happened a couple of times, but I have one with like the largest amount of storage, because I know I keep a lot of videos and things along those lines.
Are you the official archivist for your family?
Yes. 1,000% yes. My wife feels comfortable deleting things because she knows I have a copy, possibly even 2 copies of those things. But the nice part was we dropped off, I left them with the phone, came back, 2 hours or so. We went and got dinner, did some stuff. It was so nice not having the phone.
Do you feel like you've had to already, cross over like a learning curve with this new phone?
No, it's pretty much the same exact thing. It's a couple of little new bells and whistles. Even my wife and I were laughing about that. We're like, they add just enough to make you be like, this is so cool. I got an iPhone, a new iPhone. But it's really the exact same thing for the most part. I mean, it's got a couple new things in there. I'm sure someone who's like massively nerdy about iPhones would be like, well, actually, there's a lot of cool new features. But for me and what I use it for, it just works more. So I just needed a new phone that worked.
Well, congratulations,
thanks.
Steve. Glad you got a new one.
It was a big day. It was a big day in our household yesterday.
Well, earlier this morning, we mentioned that over the weekend, something happened with my pet and a coworker's pet that cost me $500 and him $900. We're going to tell you what happened after Nirvana.
The Daly Migs Show.
Well, today we celebrate Love Your Pet Day.
Yes.
And Rockaholics, if you have a pet at home, I would just ask that when you get there, you give them a little chin scratch from the Daly Migs Show. Because we love pets.
A little pet on the tush?
Yeah, a little booty scratch. I love my pet so much over the weekend that I decided to set up a play date with one of the litter mates of our new puppy, Brute.
Okay, and so one of our coworkers has the same, from the same litter.
Yes, so our coworker, VD, as he's known on the men's room, Jason, has Henry, who's a silver lab, and we have Brute, who is a champagne lab, and they have not seen each other since the day we brought them home to their respective houses. So Jason and his gal and Ted Smith from the men's room and our buddy Sean all roll up. We're going to burn a Christmas tree in the fire pit and let the dogs run around. This is the plan for the day. And the dogs are just roughhousing.
I'm not going to let the whole burning a Christmas tree gloss over, but I want to hear what happened with the dogs first.
So the dogs start roughhousing, and they're all very curious about Henry, so they're all kind of getting after him. Not in like a bad way, but like poor Henry's on the ground being all submissive, showing his belly, and they're racing around just being totally insane. And then my older dog, Kai, who's the nicest, sweetest, kindest, most wonderful dog in the world, the blue ribbon dog, he is chewing on a piece of wood, and Henry went for it, and he did one of those little kind of warning things where they go, "Arr," you know?
Okay. Yeah.
But his tooth went through Henry's lip. So Henry is now shrieking. This puppy is shrieking.
It's like, I've had a bad enough day with all you idiots. Now I'm getting bit.
And he's bleeding. So he runs into our shop. Jason goes after him. We go after the dog, and he is very obviously shooken up, this poor puppy. And we see it's like that's going to need stitches.
Right.
It was a little hole in his cheek.
Damn.
So they made a couple calls, and they took him to the emergency vet in Redmond, which is probably an hour from our house. And then we hear from Jason, however many hours later, that it was a $900 bill.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's
$900 for stitches.
For stitches, basically.
Oh.
Because I think if you go to the ER vet, there's a markup on whatever.
100%, yeah.
So then I'm looking at our dog later on, and I'm noticing that he has swelling on his face. And you've seen the pictures on the internet of dogs that have been stung by a bee. That's what he looked like. One side of his face was all puffed out. So I thought, oh no, he must have gotten bitten by an ant or a spider or stung by a bee, something like that. Well, the next day, the swelling was even worse. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. So, of course, me being the farm girl that I am, I'm like, we'll give him a Benadryl because maybe it's a reaction, an allergic reaction. Well, it was not an allergic reaction. We finally flipped up his lip and looked inside of his mouth, and one of his teeth had like almost turned black, and he had bruising all inside of his gum, and he's all just swollen. So we took him into our vet yesterday. And our vet said that he probably was going to need to have that tooth pulled out because there was some sort of either blunt force trauma or like a pull injury where if he had been, chewing on something, tugging on something, and another dog pulled it away. So they had to put him
So you think it was from
under.
that wood that...
Yeah, well, he wasn't even the one chewing on the wood.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
That was my other dog.
Yeah.
So we're not even sure really how it happened, but when we left him there, they said, we're going to have to put him under anesthesia and we're going to have to intubate him and remove that tooth. So when they got in there and pulled the gum back to look at the tooth, it had cracked the bone around the tooth as well. So they had to clean him up, remove the tooth. They said the adult tooth was intact, thank goodness. And if that tooth hadn't come out, it could have killed the roots of the adult tooth. So it was very good that we did get it out. But I had to go pick up the dog yesterday, and our bill was $500. So Jason's bill was $900. Our bill was $500. Thankfully, we have pet insurance, and Jason is currently researching pet insurance options for the future.
That was the part when you mentioned it to me before the show. You're like, oh, wait, we got pet insurance. I've been doing that pet insurance. I just signed up through our work. We have do you have an option for a couple bucks a month to do pet insurance? I don't know. I was like, I had a wild hair. I'll just do it. I never thought, does it even work? Am I just giving them $2 a month or $3 a month for no good reason or whatever? I don't even know how much it is, but it's not that much.
Yeah, I think it's maybe $40 bucks a month, something like that. And they'll pay, I think, up to $70 of your bill, which I'll take it.
Yeah, that's what it's covering, man. I got to remember to use it for a change. I
So
never
this
even
is-
thought.
yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know if this is just some kind of a scam that I just agreed to.
No, PSA, get your dog some pet insurance. It's going to be worth it in the long run.
Did you guys get to actually set the tree on fire?
We did set the tree on fire.
Okay, good.
And you know what? Speaking of setting Christmas trees on fire, what do roadkill, woodpeckers, and s'mores have in common? It all has to do with the redneck life, Steve. And we're going to tell you all about it at 7:20.
The Daly Migs Show. Love the flexibility of working in all sorts of places? Well, working on the go seamlessly requires a strong network like T-Mobile. We have America's largest 5G network, so whether you're on a video call at the park or uploading large files at the coffee shop, we have the 5G speed you need. Whatever takes you on the go, T-Mobile's got you covered. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/network today.
Coverage not available in some areas. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Oh, should we start this show?
Yeah, I'm down. Just buying a car on Carvana first.
Ooh, for real?
Yeah, it's super convenient. I already got pre-qualified in 2 minutes. All I had to do is answer a few questions.
Ooh, that's helpful.
And now just customizing my down and monthly payments.
Ooh, that's a very fair deal.
Yep. Boom. Just bought a car. And you get to take me to the Carvana vending machine in a couple days to pick it up.
Ooh, I'm kind of busy.
Visit Carvana.com to finance your next car.
Financing subject to credit approval.
With LinkedIn Jobs, we tap into a network of more than 1 billion professionals to help you find quality professionals quickly and easily for any role you need. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found.
That project manager I could never seem to hire?
And found. LinkedIn Jobs quickly matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience. In fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/decide. That's linkedin.com/decide. Terms and conditions apply.
Rockaholics, what is the redneckiest thing you have ever done? That is an official word, by the way. You can look it up in the dictionary. Redneckiest.
Is that one of the new words that dictionary.com put in there?
Probably. 206-803-ROCK. What is the redneckiest thing you have ever done?
Maybe it's setting a Christmas tree on fire in February.
Well, we also did one in January, Steve.
Oh, my bad. I did not realize that this is a thing that happens at the Taryn Daly household.
We call it Camp Cash, our little compound. We call it Camp Cash. And there have been many a Christmas tree burned in our giant fire pit. And there's a thread going on Reddit where I should probably add this to the conversation. What is the redneckiest thing you've ever done? Some of the highlights: shot at a woodpecker in my underwear.
You've done
By
that?
the way, this is not me.
Oh,
These are the Reddit.
Excuse me?
This is the Reddit thread. Shot at a woodpecker in my underwear.
I knew of a person that this is more of like the city version of that, but they were dealing with a lot of just issues outside of their home, like with streetwalkers and also like drug dealers and stuff. And so they had a BB gun and they would shoot it not at them, but like just near them, just to kind of like startle them. Like they would shoot at the street signs like right by there, just to kind of like scare them off. I mean, I guess it's the closest that city folk get to shooting at a woodpecker. It's a different type of woodpecker. Is that?
Another one is made s'mores with a Bic lighter. That just seems like it would take way too long.
That sounds like something we would do in college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That doesn't seem very rednecky. That seems more just dumb college. We've got the ingredients, but we don't know how to make a fire.
What about cooked roadkill?
No. But and I don't think... I can't remember if it was Joe Dredd, who listens to our show. When I used to work at a different station, he would also listen to that station, and he would enter to win some crazy prizes. And we did a contest that was, it was like, what would you do for a fat boy? And it was for a brand new Harley Davidson. And people would suggest what they were willing to do in order to win that Harley Davidson. And I don't know if it was Joe or not, but I know he competed for this. So he was either the person that did this or someone else who competed for it that was like next to him. And they said, I will go find roadkill, cook it up, and eat it. And that, of course, was one of our finalists because like none of us could believe that they would do that.
How can you not?
But it wasn't like, so whenever, just hearing that story, it wasn't very rednecky. They were doing it to win a Harley Davidson, but it's still, I couldn't believe that someone was willing to do that.
Have you ever eaten like a gamey animal?
I don't know. Alligator?
You've eaten alligator?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
We're in New Orleans. I mean, when in New Orleans, you eat alligator.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Another one here that I can relate to on some level, brought 2 goats home in the back of my Mustang.
Okay.
I didn't bring any goats home in a Mustang, but I brought 1 goat home in the back of a Kia Sportage.
Was it a baby goat?
It was a small goat, but it wasn't a baby.
How do you even convince a goat to get? I mean, not that like I have an issue with a Kia. It's like I only ride in Hyundais, but like how do you even get a goat in a car?
Well, I was using a dog crate. So it was, and like the size of the dogs that are using that crate were labs. So that's about how big the goat was. It wasn't a baby goat, but it wasn't like a tiny goat.
And you came home, and that was one of the animals that you came home unannounced to Brad.
That's the one I brought. I had to take it on a ferry boat. So the goat rode on a boat in a crate in a car.
Pretty rednecky.
Very rednecky.
Yeah.
And then the other one I brought home in the back of a truck, and I called the Ted Smith from the men's room and let him know, hey, I have a secret to tell you. You can't tell Brad. And he was like, don't put me in this situation, Taryn. I was like, I got a goat in the back of the truck.
He's right, like, phew. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than that. Eventually, that secret will come out.
This one, well, he found out real quickly that there was a giant goat in the backyard. Here's another one that I really like. Had a John Deere tractor-themed wedding.
Oh, God. I would be down to go to that wedding. I mean, I'd have to buy all new clothes, obviously. It's not like I have a bunch of John Deere apparel ready to go, but that would be a fun wedding to be at. As long as, like, they went down the aisle in an actual John Deere. Yeah.
Yes. I think that'd be great. I want to go to that wedding. Rockaholics, we want to hear from you. 206-803-ROCK. What is the redneckiest thing you have ever done? We're going to tackle your calls after Sublime.
The Daily Migs Show.
Rockaholics, we are asking this morning, what is the redneckiest thing you have ever done? I just love that word so much.
Fired up for all these calls. Our phone lines are just jam-packed. Our text lines as well because, obviously growing up in the city, a lot of these things I'm not going to understand, but I'm so fired up to hear what these stories are all about.
206-803-ROCK is the number to call, the number to text. Carly in Kent, I've always wanted to do this. You turned your truck into a swimming pool.
Yes, we did. We have an 88 Toyota pickup,
awesome.
And it was one of those super hot summers that we've had recently. It was like 110 degrees. We were melting. So we lined it with a blue tarp and then threw the hose in it, and that was our pool for a few days.
Yes. Did you drive around like the town with it, like just like kind of showing off how awesome this was?
No, just our yard, really, but that was enough for me. We live next to a park, and so there were plenty of onlookers that felt like it was pretty entertaining. So.
How many people could you fit in the pool?
Comfortably, 2, but I mean, if you really wanted to have a party, you could do 3 or 4.
That is amazing.
Did you make cocktails and make it like a full-on pool party?
What else would you do?
Did you get pulled over by it? Like anyone be like, hey, what the hell are you guys doing?
No, I mean, it was just a lot of onlookers from the park that just kind of oogled at us for a while, but we just enjoyed it and just were like, cheers.
That's awesome.
Is this my Carly?
It is your Carly.
You own her?
Now I'm just sad that I didn't get invited to this pool party, and I hope you'll have another one someday.
well, we live in Canada. I know you're up in Stanwood. It's a long way, but next time for sure. And we're sorry we missed the tree burn this weekend, too.
Well, there's always another Christmas coming around.
So we're just going to get our hands on a pickup and drive from Kent to Stanwood.
Oh, my God, I love it. Steve in Kirkland, back to the Christmas tree topic. You hung rib bones on yours as decorations.
Yeah, well, I moved to Hawaii, and, we really missed our buddies and our barbecue, so every Christmas, Bruce would send us bleached rib bones, and we'd hang those on our Christmas tree.
That is so savage.
It's just, the barbecue in Hawaii just isn't the same. So it just was kind of a little reminder of home, and I don't know if that's really redneck, but
I think it's pretty redneck.
Did you put the year of did you ever, some of our ornaments we write like the year that we got the ornament, if it's like something that's sentimental? Did you put the year on the bones?
Well, what we did was we'd put the new ones up on top and then put the older ones on the bottom and send us a couple every year.
Oh, I love it.
It's not like I have a transmission in my bathtub or anything. It was a good way to remember home. And that was before the internet was really, really big, and oh God, I'm dating myself. But it was the only way to. I can't even explain it now that I'm hearing myself say it. It sounds really bad.
Right on, Stevie.
I think it sounds really great.
We got a text message at 206-803-ROCK, and they said the most redneckiest thing growing up, we had horses, and my brother and I would have horse manure fights. The newer the manure, the more it hurts, and the better market left.
I like newer and manure.
It rhymes really well.
That's really lovely.
The newer the manure.
Oh, as a small town girl, I that's one thing I never did. I mean, we did everything from cow tipping, just that kind of weird farm stuff, but never did a manure fight.
City folks just don't get it.
Yeah, we weren't flinging poop at each other. At least not for fun.
Laura in Yelm, what did you do with your neighbor's dog poop?
Oh, my gosh.
Well, you just get tired of dogs pooping in your yard, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have no animals. So I knew someone was pooping in my yard, so I got me a camera, I put it up, and I put two and two together. Finally, one day, I took a picture, and I gathered up their doo-doo, and I took it to them, and I said, your doggy is pooping in my yard. Two of them.
What, did you put all the poop in one bag?
One bag, I gathered up like 6 piles of poo.
Oh.
All right.
Did you light it on fire and then ring the doorbell and run away?
You know what? I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make sure they knew who and where it came from.
That's establishing dominance right there.
Did they finally get the message and start picking up their dog's poop?
You know what? She was not getting it, so I said, okay, well, there's only one way to solve this. I turned the bag upside down, and I emptied it on their porch.
Oh, man. See, that's way more, I think, effective than the passive-aggressive way people do it in my neighborhood, where they just put up signs that say, please curb after your dog. It's like, no. You pick it up and you leave it on that person's porch. Oh, yeah.
We're talking about the redneckiest things that our rockaholics have ever done. 206-803-ROCK.
You mentioned earlier when we were talking about some of the stuff that was on that Reddit thread, and one of them was eating roadkill. And I was like, I think it was Joe Dredd that did it once for a contest for a Harley Davidson. And he texted and said, no, Steve, I was not the one to eat roadkill. I was the one that tried to eat my way through a pig's head. And I do plan on calling in later to discuss this from Joe Dredd.
It wasn't that so much. It was this.
I didn't do anything disgusting like eat roadkill. I ate my way through a pig's head.
No, thank you.
Danny, you're not a country dude either. You're kind of like a city folk like myself.
Sure. However, in New Mexico, it's kind of small or big town, small city. So there were a lot of like little rednecky things we do, and I think the biggest one that I reminded of, we went fishing with fireworks. Because we couldn't find fishing poles. And so we were like, we went out. We were like, we want to go fishing. So me and my cousin went out and we bought these fireworks that were waterproof. And we just throw them in the river. And the fish thought it was food. We were feeding them. So the fish would go up and eat the firework. And then it'd explode. And then all of a sudden you have fish.
That's next level, Danny.
Thank you. Yeah.
You might be more of a redneck than me.
It was pretty rednecky. I'm not proud of that last either. So
206-803-ROCK. What is the redneckiest thing you have ever done? John in Seattle, you took your girls to a monster truck rally.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
What's up, John?
And not much. Hey, yeah, years ago I took my daughters to the Tacoma Dome to see a monster truck show. They really wanted to see it, so we were walking up past a row of people waiting to get into the building there. My youngest daughter looks at them all, and she hollers out, "Look at all these rednecks." And all the people right there just busted up laughing. My daughter started laughing. Everybody was laughing. It was so funny.
Isn't that funny how a kid could say that? No problem. Everyone's laughing. If like you said that, there might have been a couple of issues. You just never know.
Exactly. I think so. But they thought it was funny coming from a little girl. But now my daughters are all grown up and married. And if I mention that to my youngest daughter anymore, she kind of gets embarrassed a little bit.
Do they still go to monster truck rallies as they get older?
No, they just want to see it that one time. They never win again.
I want to take my kid so bad to a monster truck show, but she's just so worried about she just doesn't like loud noises, like that loud. Like going to a baseball game was just traumatic to her. So I got to wait to her until she gets a little bit older. But I can't wait to go to one of those monster truck shows with her.
We've taken Barrett to see Monster Jam, and he wore his little. Yep. But he looked completely in shock about what was going on. And I think now that he's a little bit older, he would like it a lot.
Appreciate
more.
it a little bit more.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, Rockaholics, have you ever had a ridiculous run-in with the law? One that you will never forget? We would love for you to call us up now and tell the story. Plus, that story will give you a shot at winning Trevor Noah tickets. Call us at 206-803-ROCK. We're going to take your calls at 7:50.
The Daly Migs Show.
Love the flexibility of working in all sorts of places? Well, working on the go seamlessly requires a strong network like T-Mobile. We have America's largest 5G network, so whether you're on a video call at the park or uploading large files at the coffee shop, we have the 5G speed you need. Whatever takes you on the go, T-Mobile's got you covered. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/network today.
Coverage not available in some areas. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
With LinkedIn Jobs, we tap into a network of more than 1 billion professionals to help you find quality professionals quickly and easily for any role you need. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found.
That project manager I could never seem to hire?
And found. LinkedIn Jobs quickly matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience. In fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/decide. That's linkedin.com/decide. Terms and conditions apply.
Nerds! Today's episode is sponsored by NerdWallet's Smart Money Podcast. Sometimes you need a change of pace. That includes your finances. Get smart with your budgeting with financial tips straight from the nerds. NerdWallet's trusted experts will set future you up for success by untangling today's web of financial misinformation. Learn about smart investing strategies, tax planning pointers, and travel tips to save on a fun family getaway. Maybe somewhere tropical? Spring ahead for smarter decisions in 2024. Follow NerdWallet's Smart Money Podcast on your favorite podcast app.
Yo, next round is about to start. You ready?
Yeah, just shopping for a car in Carvana.
For real?
Yeah, Carvana makes it super convenient to shop whenever, wherever.
For real? That's a ton of car options.
Yep, and these are all within my price range.
For really real? You can afford that?
Yeah, with Carvana. And boom, just like that, I'm getting it delivered in a couple days.
For really, really real? You just bought a car.
For real, and you just lost my turn.
Visit Carvana.com to shop for thousands of vehicles under $20,000.
With LinkedIn Jobs, we tap into a network of more than 1 billion professionals to help you find quality professionals quickly and easily for any role you need. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found.
That project manager I could never seem to hire?
And found. LinkedIn Jobs quickly matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience. In fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/decide. That's linkedin.com/decide. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Now on the Daly Migs Show.
Damn. Some birds aren't meant to be caged. Yet, here we are, butt naked, eating soggy bologna sandwiches. Figure it's time to get busy living and get busy winning.
Let's play Soundmates.
Cellmates is the game where lawbreakers become game changers. And this week, we are playing for tickets to see Trevor Noah at the Paramount Theater on Saturday, March 23rd. Let's meet our cellmates. We have Eric in Eatonville. You handcuffed yourself with the cops' handcuffs.
Yeah. It was a small town, and we used to get together, and sometimes we would just walk around and eat a bunch of acid.
Oh, boy.
There's like 10 or 15 of us, and I'd ate like a 10 strip of gel tabs, and we're down there at Hardee's, and the cop pulls up to check on what's going on because there's a group of us standing there. I was like a couple of years out of military. They weren't looking at us like criminals yet, and so I don't know, just in random conversation, I asked the cop to see his handcuffs, and he's like, "Yeah, sure." And I put them on. He's like, "I don't have the keys to that. We got to go to the station."
Wait.
And
so you weren't doing anything where they wanted to handcuff you? You were just like, "Can I put your handcuffs on?" And he let you?
I was tripping balls. Yes.
That's amazing. Hey, don't do this at home.
So, yeah, don't do it at home. So he had to take me to the police station, and then he still didn't uncuff me till we got back to Hardee's. Then he uncuffed me and let me out and everything. But I had like 250, 300 hits of acid on me. State of Virginia, 7 years is life in prison.
My God, dude.
Did going to the police station totally screw up your trip, or did you continue feeling good?
Oh, I embraced it. When I got back, as soon as the cop pulled away, everybody was just rolling like, why? I was like, I don't know. I was like, but I wish I hadn't. But I mean, at least it all planned out good.
Damn.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I got to imagine the adrenaline rush. Even if you were sober and you did all that, and you get back and you turned out like you didn't get any trouble for it. I'd be like riding on a natural high, but you have that natural high on top of the high.
Yeah, we would wait till the light until it was getting dark out, and then we decided to like start walking through town and let all the lights hit us and all that stuff, and just whatever we could do to entertain ourselves. By the way, are y'all doing the Pain in the Grass this year?
I'm not sure yet. We'll figure that out. Maybe we're doing it right now, man, and you're just on acid. You never know.
All right, Eric, we're going to meet your cellmate, who is Rob from Port Orchard. You bought a car from a criminal.
Yeah, so I pick up this car over the weekend, nice little MX-6, and I said, well, I had to commute to work, so I'm taking this thing in the morning, and I get pulled over because I was speeding, so I figured, no big deal, I'm going to get a speeding ticket. Well, cop gets out, guns drawn. Next thing I know, it's surrounded by the police, guns drawn, on the ground, rolling around kind of a thing. They got me there. They bring me into jail. I end up spending the whole day in jail until they figure out it wasn't me they were looking for. It was the guy that sold me the car.
Yeah, it's kind of probably a tough conversation. I'd be like, look, I didn't steal the car. And they're probably thinking like, oh, likely story.
Yeah, we hear that every day, sir.
Oh, everybody says that. Yeah, I'm not guilty.
Do you know what the person was wanted for?
No idea. The car was involved in the crime, so I have no idea. They never told me anything, but they had me. They fingerprinted me, my ID. They didn't believe my ID. None of that stuff.
Oh my gosh. Well, Steve,
and then what do they end up doing? They end up putting those cars like up for auction, so you could kind of in a roundabout way still try and track down the car.
That's true. Well, Steve,
they let me keep the car because I had a bill of sale for it. So it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
I ended up keeping the thing. Yep.
Did you get a good deal on the car?
I can't remember. It was a while ago. I was young when it happened. So
that's so weird. I wouldn't think they'd let you keep the car. I figured they'd be like, dude, sorry about a stolen car. We got to like give it, do whatever we got to do. I have no idea what the process is with that kind of stuff.
I don't even know either.
Yeah.
I know I ended up with a car. I sold it after that though.
Yeah.
So Steve, based on the severity of the crimes of our two cellmates, who do you think should go first in the game?
Oh man, both are very unique. Let's go with Rob. Let's go with the man who bought the stolen car first.
Oh, I mean, what a bummer to find out that way. All right, Rob, here we go. It's National Muffin Day. On what road did the Muffin Man live?
Oh, no. I know this one, too. I can't think of it right now.
Oh. That would be Drury Lane. Drury Lane.
I don't even know where the hell Muffin Man, why is he living anywhere? Who the hell's Muffin Man?
Do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man? Oh, do you know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane?
You asked the question, Steve.
Oh. Okay, thanks. Thanks for clearing that up.
All right, Eric.
And you're right, Danny. I did ask the question.
Eric, if you get it right, you're winning the Trevor Noah tickets. If your dog is a schnoodle, what two breeds are involved?
Schnauzer and Poodle.
Correct. You're going to Trevor Noah, baby. Woo.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
That was easy.
Schnoodle. That's a fun word to say. Do you like that? Schnoodle?
Schnauzer and Poodle.
Schnoodle.
A schnoodle. Well, we got the golden doodle.
There needs to be a cooler name for it. G-doodle.
A goodle?
A goodle.
Goodle sounds like that's something like guys can't find on a women's body part. But that's a whole other conversation.
Well, on the heels of playing Cellmates, there was a man arrested for doing the unthinkable at an antique store. At an antique store, and it is next level unbelievable. And we're going to tell you exactly what he did after Lenny Kravitz.
The Daily Migs Show.
There's a man named Mitchell. He's from Texas. And he was arrested and charged for being caught on a video at an antique store doing something really gross and weird.
Okay.
He was putting items up his kilt, all the way up in there, and then putting them back on the shelf.
So what's gross and weird about that? The kilt part?
Hey, you know what? I have Scottish blood. I love a kilt.
That's going to make me now start thinking whenever I see someone with a kilt at a store, I'm like, hey.
Don't be putting things up your kilt.
I know what you guys like to do with these kids. No, that's... So wait, so he would actually just...
Yeah, at this antique store.
And would he buy it at least?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know why that makes the story better to me, but like, if you at least know it says that they do put it back on the shelf.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like some kind of like a weird thing that this guy thinks he's wreaking havoc or something along those lines. I don't know.
The name of the gallery manager is Susan, and she talks about exactly what the cameras caught Mitchell doing on camera.
Number one, I was disgusted. That night, one of the dealers sent me a video that she had from a camera in her own booth. I think they've been in here before. The employees recognized them and said they were just, the guy was really nice and she was nice, and they just shopped around for a few hours.
What did they do with those products?
They threw them away mostly.
Mostly?
Which ones did you keep?
The ones that fetch a high dollar.
Okay, this reporter needs to be educated that you need some follow-up questions. When you say mostly, that means there's some that you did not throw away?
Which ones are still available?
Or, yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I guess you could clean it?
Oh, I don't want that job.
Of course not. Also, so he was there with another person. He was with a female.
An accomplice.
Do you think this was like some kind of do you think it was like one of those the submissive dominatrix kind of things where
she's telling him to do it?
He's being told what to do. Yeah. I'm not saying that makes this right. Or
it sounds very extravagant.
I mean, this is definitely that doesn't mean that you should get a hall pass for doing something like that. I feel like that's something that you need to just make a make believe store. Kind of create your own fake store and do it in the comfort of your own home. You don't go do this at someone else's store and then put it back on the shelves. But do you think that's
possible? I mean, the fetishes that exist in the world never cease to amaze me.
Because I'll still think about that time when we went to Chicago once for one of our radio conventions. We just at some big parade that was going on, and there was a dude. Do you remember this one, Danny? Were you there with us? What? There was a dude that was being walked around on a leash.
Oh no, I was not.
Oh man, it was just like when you first see him, for the whole time you have to do a double take. You're just like, wait a second. And he was wearing. Sarah, were you with us?
I think so.
So? How do you not remember this?
Well, I mean, it's not the first time I've seen this, Steve.
I mean, he had multiple times, leather straps, and he was shirtless, but he had leather things going around and all over his body. And I mean, I remember just thinking, what is going on here? And then, obviously he was in a situation where this is what he was being told to do at this event.
Well, hopefully he was a good boy.
Well, I mean, he wasn't causing any problems, so I think, yes, he in fact was a good boy.
Rockaholics, you are listening to the Daily Migs Show. You can give us a follow on socials, by the way, at Daily Migs on both Instagram and Twitter. Did you guys hear the story about Sylvester Stallone and him kind of training up his daughters?
Oh, I hope it doesn't involve a kilt and an antique store.
So his two oldest daughters were moving out to New York City, so he hired actual Navy SEALs to train them in self-defense.
Oh, I love this.
And the daughters are 27 and 25, and it was about 6 hours that they were in the woods training with these guys.
Okay, that's rather aggressive.
And one of the sisters said that they got their butts whooped by these guys. They were the real deal.
You know, it's funny. I was talking with a dude recently at a party at our neighbor's house. I was talking to one of my buddies, and we were just like BSing about having, being a dad to a daughter, and just how kind of, you get very protective. You get super protective to the point where I came close to like kicking a child in the head. Like, one time because he knocked my daughter over. I didn't. But like my first instinct was, you hurt my daughter, I will hurt you. And my wife's looking at me like he's 5. And she's 3. Like, you gotta let he didn't do it. She's okay. But you get very protective.
Of course.
And so I've had this conversation with my wife where I'm like, at some point, I want her to go do some kind of martial art. And my buddy was like, I'm thinking the same thing, like, some jiu-jitsu or something, just so that there's like, a skill set there. God forbid if she ever needs to have it. And also I think it's just a good thing, for discipline and for, an activity to do that. I think that'll be good for her to know how to do. But I don't got that kind of connection or hookup where I can get a bunch of Navy SEALs to come over and just train my adult daughters.
I mean, I'm surprised that he doesn't have, that he didn't train them himself, because he's a pretty tough dude.
Yeah, but he's a tough dude in movies. I mean,
that's got to translate a little bit to reality.
So if you
think he just plays a tough guy? He's just not tough in real life?
I never really challenged him, but I'm not positive, Well,
we're learning all of this about the Stallone family because season 2 of The Family Stallone is going to be airing this Wednesday, tomorrow at 9:30 on MTV.
I forgot there was even a season 1, to be honest with you.
I'm looking at his daughters. I might become a fan of this show.
Oh,
they're very attractive.
Do they not look like their dad?
They do not look like their dad at all whatsoever.
Oh, hi. Yeah, they're cute.
Yeah, I can understand why he wants to get some Navy SEALs to teach them how to handle themselves, because they're gorgeous.
Well, if you want to get caught up on season 1 before the season 2 premiere, it is streaming on Paramount Plus.
Imagine you start hanging out with one of his daughters, not knowing maybe, and then all of a sudden I want you to meet my dad, and then go back, and it's freaking Sylvester Stallone. I would start crying.
I'd be like, never mind. Thank you for your time.
Are you serious? I dropped down to a knee and proposed right then and there. I'd be like, you could be my father-in-law. We could watch all the Rocky movies together, and you have no choice.
You think that's what he wants to do?
Probably not. But
watch the Rocky movies with his future son-in-law?
Yes. All right, we'll watch Rambo and the Expendables as well. Stop Where My Mom Will Shoot. We'll do any of these.
Did you watch the show that I don't even know if it's coming back for another season, but Tulsa King?
No.
I mean, it's pretty cheesy and pretty bad, but I like him. I do like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice, tough guy. Well, last week we told you about a waitress that got a $10,000 tip at the cafe she worked, and now she has been fired. Why? We're going to tell you what happened at 8:20.
The Daily Migs Show.
Yo, next round is about to start. You ready?
Yeah, just shopping for a car in Carvana.
For real?
Yeah, Carvana makes it super convenient to shop whenever, wherever.
For real? That's a ton of car options.
Yep, and these are all within my price range.
For really real? You can afford that?
Yeah, with Carvana. And boom, just like that, I'm getting it delivered in a couple days.
For really, really real? You just bought a car.
For real, and you just lost my turn.
Visit Carvana.com to shop for thousands of vehicles under $20,000.
Love the flexibility of working in all sorts of places? Well, working on the go seamlessly requires a strong network like T-Mobile. We have America's largest 5G network, so whether you're on a video call at the park or uploading large files at a coffee shop, we have the 5G speed you need. Whatever takes you on the go, T-Mobile's got you covered. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/network today.
Coverage not available in some areas. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
With LinkedIn Jobs, we tap into a network of more than 1 billion professionals to help you find quality professionals quickly and easily for any role you need. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found.
That project manager I could never seem to hire?
And found. LinkedIn Jobs quickly matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience. In fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/decide. That's linkedin.com/decide. Terms and conditions apply.
Rockaholics, have you ever been fired for a job and you're still shocked that you were? We want to hear about it. 206-803-ROCK. You might recall we talked about this story earlier this month where an anonymous man in Michigan walked into a restaurant the Mason Jar Cafe, ordered $32 worth of stuff, and then left a $10,000 tip.
I do remember that because we were having a conversation like, how do you share it with your coworkers? Because, I mean, if they gave it to you specifically for any reason, why would you want to share it with like Joe and Sally over there that aren't trying as hard as a waiter or a waitress? But, you know, obviously, in the story, I think the woman did obviously let everybody know, and then they had to share it amongst everybody equally.
And this waitress who received the $10,000 tip, she has now been fired.
Serves her right for sharing it.
Right? How dare she? So the restaurant has said that it has nothing to do with the tip itself. It was just a business decision.
I did see some people, though. I think she is alleging that they were unhappy with her when it made its way onto social media because she took a picture of the receipt, shared it on socials because, you know, that's like something that people will do nowadays. Like, I can't believe this tip. And I guess it brought like undue attention to, but they're like you said, they're saying no, that's not why we let her go. But a lot of people are just like this. We feel like we're missing some big parts of the story on both ends to understand why the hell would you get fired soon after something like that. If you're that good of a waitress that this tip is coming in, that seems weird.
Well, and the person that left the tip, their friend had passed away, and the tip was left kind of in honor of this friend. It had something to do with like the funeral or last wishes or something of that nature.
So it didn't have anything to do with the actual specific waitress. It just maybe had to do with the place.
I think from what I can gather, I feel like it has something more to do with the place, but the person who got the tip is the one that, you know, put it on social and had it go viral, and now she doesn't have a job anymore.
No, this is just me creating scenarios in my head, but do you think maybe that everyone's upset that this was like even like made into public knowledge because they didn't want to deal with the taxes or something, you know? Like, do you think like the owners was like, why'd you make this public knowledge? Like, now we got to let everyone know that we actually did get this tip.
Well, the owners are saying that there is no connection to any like labor laws or anything like that.
Well, they're not going to admit to it. Yeah.
But they have not really given any details, but they say, no, it's not that. Have you ever been fired from a job and were like shocked about it?
Well, I was shocked with how it went down, getting fired from a radio job just because of like, it was as they were firing us. I told you this story before. They were changing the format of the station as well. So as we were being fired from an alternative rock station, all of a sudden Pink's Get This Party Started was playing in the background as they are saying, we are going to let you go. So, I mean, it was one of those things where I was just like, I felt like eventually we were going to get fired just because they weren't spending any money on the station and they weren't putting any effort into trying to let people know about the station. It just felt like things are not going the way that we were promised. So, barring a miracle, I didn't think this job was going to last very long, but I was still shocked, obviously, because of how it went down.
How do you feel when you hear Pink's Let's Get This Party Started now?
I uncontrollably punch business dudes. Like, it's a weird feeling. It's a knee-jerk reaction, like, screw you, Suits.
It's very triggering.
Have you had a situation where you've been fired and you just can't believe you were?
You guys, it might be this job. It might be the first time I get fired. I don't know.
I've never
been fired before.
Oh, great.
I've never been fired.
Ever?
I've been almost fired, but not fired.
Wait.
I had to apologize one time, and it got me out of being fired.
Danny, have you been fired?
Never once.
Never once.
These squeaky clean
Sarah?
individuals.
Never, ever. I haven't.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, great.
We're angels.
Now the pressure is on. We have to keep the streak alive, Danny and Sarah.
Yeah, your pressure's on you guys. Good.
Rockaholics, when have you said to yourself, I can't believe I was fired for blank? Have you ever been fired from a job and you're still shocked that you were? 206-803-ROCK. We're going to take your calls after Monoskin.
The Daily Migs Show.
When have you said to yourself, I can't believe I was fired for blank? Have you ever been fired from a job and still shocked that you were? 206-803-ROCK is the number to call. Drama in Covington, you got fired for confronting a homeless person for stealing tips.
Good morning, my beautiful friends. How are we doing on this crappy Tuesday weather day?
It is one of those kind of days. Yeah, what's up, Drama?
Not much, Steve. How are you, brother?
Doing good. We're here.
All right. I wish I was there instead of driving traffic, but here goes. Believe it or not, and Steve, you see me, so this is kind of funny. I used to work at Starbucks. Slinging coffee.
And for those that don't know, Drama's he's a big dude. He's in good, like not big, like heavy set, like just he's spent some time in the gym ski, if you know what I mean.
Well, lifting up those espresso shots is hard work, man.
Yeah,
you better be in good shape.
That's what got his large forearm.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. anyways, we're working one night. One of the gals that was working next to me said, hey, that guy's stealing our tips. And I look and I see some transient homeless dude trying to run off with our tips. And I open the door and I run out and I confront him. And the guy was like, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to take my tips back from you. You can't steal from us. He's like, oh, yeah? He's like, what if I don't give them? I said, well, it'll be a bad day for you. And so he dropped them and he put his hands up. He's like, I'm crazy. I'll MMA fight you. And I just kind of laughed. I'm like, dude, I'm going to crush you if you do this. And so he yelled a few names and then ran off. I got our tips back, went back inside. Everything was good, I thought. But then the gal was so traumatized, and I hate to use this word like snowflake, but she was so traumatized by what happened. She told our boss. The boss was like, oh, well, we have to talk to the manager, the district manager. And they said, hey, that's a company violation. I wasn't supposed to do anything except let them steal the tips and then call the police and wait for them to show up.
Which is so frustrating.
So I got fired.
It's not even like you fought the dude. You just were able to get him to drop the tips and you come back in. Unless you like took the tips and walk back in and like slam it against the wall and be like, the man, I would think.
But that is like a bit, I've heard of this happening. It happened to one of my family members that they tried to confront someone that was stealing something from a retail location. And because they put their hands on the person, they got fired from their job.
That has to suck these days for anyone who works in the retail world or even like at a coffee place. Like I've seen it happen where like you're just watching someone with a grocery cart full of stuff just walking out, knowing full well they could just get away with it.
Well, and my husband...
That would just be so aggravating if I worked there. It's
sure.
like, you got to be kidding me. We can't even get in the way of this person without getting in trouble with our job because we're just trying to help you not lose product.
So my husband's last name is Cash, and he was at some retail location, a grocery store, something like that one time, and he heard over the intercom, paging Mr. Cash, please come to the, to the customer service desk, paging Mr. Cash. So he goes over to the customer service desk and the lady's like, can I help you? He said, yeah, you were paging me, Mr. Cash. And she said,
is that code?
That's actually code for there's like a theft going on or something like that.
Paging Mr. Cash's code?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I don't know if that's like a secret I wasn't supposed to tell everyone.
Well, it's too late now.
Now it's just us and about couple thousand of our closest friends that know.
I got to imagine they changed it after that. They're like, guys, you won't believe it, but there was an actual Mr. Cash that was in the store when we paged him,
and now he knows.
I feel like you got to give him a prize. Like there should at least be like something like a gift certificate. Like, hey, this never happens, but here's a $10 gift card to the store.
Well, and there was a time that we were checking out at one of the Fred Meyer's up north, and we saw what you were just kind of mentioning, Steve. Somebody going out with a cart full of stuff.
Yeah.
And they just let him go. But then some good Samaritan tackled the guy in the parking lot, which was awesome. Because like you are as an employee, they can't do that. They just let it go. But a good Samaritan did, and it made me excited to watch.
I got to imagine the person who works can still cheer that on.
Yeah, of course.
Be like, hell yeah, thanks for doing what we can't do.
Yeah, that'll get you fired.
That's insane. It'll lose your job because all you're trying to do is just make sure your company doesn't get...
And everything that, as people, we're kind of almost wired to do that, Like, oh, I need to go save the day. I need to go help. I need to go make this right. But that'll get you in trouble.
A text at 206-803-ROCK. My dad fired me because I was smoking too much weed and being lazy. LOL.
That's pretty great if you get fired from the family business.
You got fired from your own father.
Like, fired you from the family? Or from, like, did you actually have a job?
Maybe both.
I mean, they say don't go into business with, friends and family, so.
And if you do, don't smoke weed, though, if you do, I guess.
206-803-ROCK. Joe in Redmond, you got fired because you were a security guard and you body checked a guy. I feel like that's part of the gig.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too. But I was. It wasn't an armed position. I mean, I had a taser, I had like pepper spray, but I was still training. And me and my training officer received what they call a code gray over the radio, which is slang for combative person. Mainly, it's somebody refusing treatment or, throwing stuff around the room, that kind of thing.
I love that we're learning the slang and the behind-the-scenes terms today. This is awesome. Code Gray and Mr. Cash.
Yeah. But we're told it's in the rehab ward, so we're like, oh, great. So this guy's on something.
Okay.
We haul up there, and when we get to the room, I'm the first one in the door. And to preface this, I am not a big guy. I'm only 5'1". And this guy, he had his back to us. He was a patient. We could smell the alcohol coming out of the room. And he was like Brock Lesnar ground and pound on the rehab nurse. Mm. And luckily the rehab nurse wasn't like, he wasn't getting hurt. He was just locked in. He couldn't move. He was just taking the hits. And this guy was about like 6'5". He was a big guy. And so my reflexes kicked in and I just body checked him into the wall. And that's all it took. He straightened right up. He thought we were cops. And, yeah, you know, we were able to get him into handcuffs because at that time it's felony assault. We had to call the local police department to come pick him up. But, yeah, after that, I got called into my supervisor's office and they're like, well, we're kind of concerned on how quickly you went to physical force.
Well, what are you supposed to do? Like have a conversation while he's beating up on the nurse?
I guess so. But I tried to justify it. I'm like, look, we could smell the alcohol. And not to mention, you kind of should have known what you got yourself into when you hired an Army vet that knows how to fight. But, yeah, they're like, yeah, we can't be that quick to escalate. And we're going to have to let you go.
Damn, that's frustrating.
I mean, that seems like protocol for a security guard. You know, I feel like body checking is fine.
I do love this text message that just came in. It said, a customer in line asked me what a Rainier dog was, and I said it's just a foot-long beef sausage. I got fired for describing a foot-long beef sausage as a 12-inch sausage because somebody in line went to my manager and thought I was being sexually suggestive. Oh, my Lord. I was working at a hot dog cart at Cheney Stadium.
That's insanity. Can we call that person a Karen, the complainer? Is that ultimate Karen?
That seems a little excessive. Like you're offended because you heard beef sausage while you're waiting in line for beef sausages.
Oh, some people's kids, man. Well, how would you like to beat Steve? He is currently 45, 13, and 5 in 2024. 206-803-ROCK. We're going to play Beat Migs at 8:50.
The Daily Migs Show.
Love the flexibility of working in all sorts of places? Well, working on the go seamlessly requires a strong network like T-Mobile. We have America's largest 5G network, so whether you're on a video call at the park or uploading large files at a coffee shop, we have the 5G speed you need. Whatever takes you on the go, T-Mobile's got you covered. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/network today.
Coverage not available in some areas. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
With LinkedIn Jobs, we tap into a network of more than 1 billion professionals to help you find quality professionals quickly and easily for any role you need. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found.
That project manager I could never seem to hire?
And found. LinkedIn Jobs quickly matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience. In fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/decide. That's linkedin.com/decide. Terms and conditions apply.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Shall I take your order, or do you need a minute?
Yes, I'll be ready. Just buying a car on Carvana.
What?
It's super convenient. I already got pre-qualified in 2 minutes. All I had to do was answer a few questions.
What? That's handy.
Yeah, now I'm customizing my down and monthly payments.
What? That's an exquisite deal.
And just like that, Carvana's delivering my car in a couple days.
What?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'll have the burrito.
Visit Carvana.com to finance your next car.
Financing subject to credit approval. Delivery fees may apply.
With LinkedIn Jobs, we tap into a network of more than 1 billion professionals to help you find quality professionals quickly and easily for any role you need. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found.
That project manager I could never seem to hire?
And found. LinkedIn Jobs quickly matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience. In fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/decide. That's linkedin.com/decide. Terms and conditions apply.
Love the flexibility of working in all sorts of places? Well, working on the go seamlessly requires a strong network like T-Mobile. We have America's largest 5G network, so whether you're on a video call at the park or uploading large files at the coffee shop, we have the 5G speed you need. Whatever takes you on the go, T-Mobile's got you covered. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/network today.
Coverage not available in some areas. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The Daily Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa! Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs? I know Randy from Bremerton is. Randy, are you there?
I am.
I'm Sarah, your host, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve.
Goodbye.
For those playing at home, Randy has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The Rolling Stones have the 60s song titled Paint It What?
Paint it red?
No.
No. Paint it white?
No.
Okay, I pass.
What president is currently on the $5 bill?
Abraham Lincoln.
Yes. Which team has made the most appearances in the Super Bowl?
That would be the Patriots.
Yes. How many cups are in a gallon?
16.
Yes. What does the I stand for in CIA?
Intelligence.
Correct. What is the name of the alternative dimension in the Netflix show Stranger Things?
Pass.
What is the only Disney animated feature film that has a title character who doesn't speak?
Pass.
In what 70s movie does Robert De Niro say, "You talking to me"?
Godfather?
No.
I have no idea.
Randy, you got 4 correct. And your phone is a little crazy. I don't know if that's any time he spoke or I spoke, but it was like so high pitched.
A lot of volume?
Yeah, a lot of volume. A lot of volume. Steve, are you ready?
Oh, I think I am. Oh, yes! Now I am.
Yeah, you are.
Let's go.
The Rolling Stones have the 60s song titled Paint It What?
Black.
Yes. What president is currently on the $5 bill?
Lincoln.
Yes. Which team has made the most appearances in the Super Bowl?
Oh, New England Patriots?
Yes. How many cups are in a gallon?
64?
No.
16?
Yes. What does the I stand for in CIA?
Investigator?
No.
Investigation?
No.
Initiative?
No. What is the name of the alternative dimension in Netflix's show Stranger Things?
The Upside World.
No.
Down on the upside. Upside down.
Yes. What is the only Disney animated feature film that has a title character who doesn't speak?
Oh, Goofy and Friends?
No.
Snow White?
No.
Cinderella?
No.
I don't know.
In what 70s movie does Robert De Niro say, "You talking to me"?
Raging Bull.
No.
Oh, Taxi Driver.
There you go. How many seasons did the sitcom How I Met Your Mother have?
9.
Yes. Wow, you knew that really fast. And you get 7 correct, which is a win, 7-4. I'm so sorry, Randy.
That's okay. I'll keep trying.
Yeah, that's a good attitude.
That is the spirit of Beat Migs.
You maybe get a little smarter.
I'm the best. I'm the best.
This weekend I was listening to a podcast that has nothing to do with even Big Bang Theory, but they referenced the Big Bang Theory having 9 seasons.
Oh.
So it's kind of funny you even asked that question because
Did you say How I Met Your Mother?
Yes, I did.
And I don't know how to answer that question.
Danny, I thought the same thing.
You were so excited just now, and I was like, wait a minute. That wasn't the question.
Did Big Bang Theory have 9 seasons, though?
No idea.
No, that wasn't a question.
I think that's what they said. That was where my mind was.
I thought maybe you were just like, well, they had 9 seasons, so maybe How I Met Your Mother did too.
I misheard you completely.
Big Bang Theory had 12.
Then what the hell?
You know what? Whatever's happening in your crazy brain, it worked.
It worked.
No,
I don't even know how that happened, but I got it right, so I don't care.
You're going to get -1 for this. Okay,
No,
you
I
get
got
6
it right.
correct. I mean, you still win.
That's hilarious.
One that Randy did get correct, CIA, it's intelligence.
Intelligence.
The I. You eventually got the upside down. Danny, what is the only Disney animated feature film that has a title character who doesn't speak?
Wall-E. No?
No.
The hell was that? Wall-E.
I didn't know what that was, too.
He doesn't speak.
That's not what the answer I have, actually.
I have no idea.
He's got big ears.
Dumbo!
Dumbo. What the hell, Steve? You're getting minus another point.
Mickey Mouse has big ears too. You. Wow. But he's a Dumbo.
By the way, I don't know when you last watched Dumbo, but it is not fun to watch.
Oh no, it's a sad movie.
Made me very sad. I started watching it with my kid, and I ended up turning it off.
You were just like,
I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I've had that happen where certain movies we're watching, and I'm just like, this is a lot darker than I remember it being. I think I'm going to turn it off before she goes to mom and tells her that we were watching this.
Oh. Yeah, it was pretty.
I mean, that's what happens, I guess, when you try and watch Faces of Death Part 2 with your child.
Oh, my goodness. Well, congratulations, Steve. You still won.
Well, earlier this morning, we talked about a popular children's song. And thanks to some rockaholics who texted in, it turns out that song is really about a serial killer.
Speaking of Faces of Death.
We're going to tell you all about it after Van Halen.
The Daily Migs Show.
Apparently today is National Muffin Day. And so I brought up the Muffin Man song earlier this morning. Just a classic, a total classic. And thanks to some rockaholics that texted in, it turns out that song is not just about the Muffin Man, it's about a serial killer.
Yeah, I got a couple of text messages. So you were singing it and all that, and someone said, did you know that the Muffin Man is a song about a serial killer who kills kids? And so the song is this.
Do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man? Do you know the Muffin Man that lives on Drury Lane?
Yes, I know the Muffin Man.
This doesn't sound very dark.
No.
Yes, I know the Muffin Man that lives on Drury Lane.
Oh, now we know the Muffin Man.
So then I go online onto YouTube, of course, because that's where you get all of your information, and just typed in serial killer Muffin Man, and there's various documentaries, short, like little either podcast documentaries or even video documentaries where they describe why this song is actually about a serial killer. And I grabbed one of them. Do you want to hear the origin story?
I do.
It's kind of creepy, man. Like, I did not know this about this song, and it changes your just outlook on hearing that song because it's kind of dark. But here's the origin story of the Muffin Man.
Frederick Thomas Linwood, born in 1563.
You already know this is serious when they have that guy's voice. Yeah. Frederick.
It's that, now I feel creeped out.
With the creepy music.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
According to urban legends, between 1589 and 1598, Linwood was the country's first documented serial killer, and he lived on Drury Lane.
Bum, bum, bum.
So he's the original serial killer.
Yes, and there's a children's song
Or at least
about
the first
him.
one they caught.
And he lived on Drury Lane. And the moniker people came to know him by, you guessed it, the Muffin Man. Also known as the Drury Lane Dicer.
Dicer?
Did you know the Drury Lane Dicer, the Drury Lane Dicer, the Drury Lane...
Does he
Does
dice and then put that in the muffins?
No, I think he dices children up.
And puts them in the muffins?
No, there's no one... He's not feeding them to people.
Well, I don't know.
Also known as the Drury Lane Dicer. Linwood was believed to have killed 15 children by luring them into dark alleys with muffins on strings.
Oh, that's where the muffins come. So he would like on a fishing line or something.
Hey, so it was a warning song.
This version of events explains the origins of the Muffin Man nursery rhyme as a warning to children, as they were made to memorize it and keep away from Drury Lane and the murderous grasp of the Muffin Man.
Do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man?
Is that bonkers?
It's a warning song.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. By the way, I don't know that I could be lured with a muffin, but if you were dragging like a box of wine down the street, you could absolutely kidnap and murder me. For sure. It'd be easy.
A roll of sushi on a string. Where are we going? Where are we going?
Oh my gosh.
So you'd sing the song. That way you would know, hey, it's on Drury Lane. And it would, like, I guess brainwash the kids into knowing, okay, don't mess with the Muffin Man on Drury Lane.
That is creepy.
Right?
Are there any other, do you know, like, the origins of any other weird, did you discover any other weird nursery rhyme or, kid story origins?
I have not, but actually yesterday I went down a weird rabbit hole of Mariah Carey, which doesn't sound right.
This is a crazy segue.
Yeah, well, because it's about music and things I did not know until yesterday, and I don't know why this kind of went over my head. I never knew this. Did you know that Mariah Carey, at the height of her career, she wrote 8 children's songs about serial killers, but apparently she was so into the grunge scene that she recorded her own grunge record.
What?
And it never was released. She had her friend eventually sing on it, and it was a group called Chick, and it was this girl like Clarissa something. And Clarissa Dane, she's the singer of the band Chick, but it was never a band. It was just Mariah Carey's like vanity project because she wanted to like write a grunge record, but her label's like, no, you can't put that album out. It's too angry and angsty, and it's going to hurt your image.
It's going to ruin your whole vibe.
So I'm reading about this. I'm like, I never even knew any of this. And there's a song called Malibu, and it's on YouTube. And sure as that's like, she wrote about it in her book and said, hey, one day I want to release the whole record. And a lot of the songs have made their way on the internet. And she sings on all the backing vocal parts, uncredited until now, or until like a couple of years ago. And it's her friend that's singing the songs that she wrote. You want to hear what it sounds like? I mean, it's definitely a time capsule of the 90s, like in just how it sounds and all, and like the overall recording of it. But I was just like, for some reason, I never even thought about it, never even heard about this. And then I'm reading something else, and someone brought up, oh yeah, when are we going to get that Mariah Carey grunge record? And I thought someone was just cracking a joke on the internet. And then I had to like Google it, and I'm like, wait a second, she actually, I mean, grunge is using very loosely. I don't feel like that's a grunge song, but it was during that time. I'm
wondering what the bands were that were kind of like her gateway into feeling like she would want to do something like that.
And here's another one. Doesn't it sound like Hole?
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought? I mean, I know like Billy Corgan helped Hole write music. Kurt Cobain did as well. Maybe Courtney Love should have hit up Mariah Carey to write some songs for her, too.
It's not too shabby.
What makes it better is that it's Mariah Carey, I think, because you just don't ever expect Mariah Carey was like doing anything that was somewhat rock.
It is very off-brand.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny that she was like so into the whole grunge scene that she's like, I'm gonna write a grunge record, or kind of a pop punky record. Yeah. And then her label's like, yeah, no, we're not putting that out.
I hope they put some sort of like a documentary together about it. I want to watch the making of Mariah Carey's grunge album.
And she does talk about, I guess, in her book and all that. And like, for the longest time, they just thought it was this Clarissa in her own band. And everyone's like, no, there actually was never a band. It was just her, Mariah Carey, and some other dude that played the music.
I need to hear more of these crazy origin stories.
Again,
not just the Muffin Man, not just Mariah Carey. Give them all to me.
Again, nothing about a serial killer that was handing out muffins on a string.
That is bananas.
Yeah.
Do I leave it in my child's playlist? I feel like that's one we listen to.
Well, yeah, that way in case
he knows.
If you're ever by Drury Lane, to just be on the lookout for the Muffin Man.
Oh my God. What kind of kids' music do you listen to?
Oh, gosh. I mean, we're just listening to the freaking Paw Patrol and Peppa Pig albums. That's basically it. And Green Day.
The one that's Green Day, which is so cool. I really need my kid to find something that I like. Because so far, it's like he doesn't like mommy music. He doesn't like daddy music.
Tatum was big into Frozen, but only a certain number of songs on the Frozen record. So I always hated, well, not hate's a strong word. I genuinely despise having to listen to that record, though.
Oh, yeah.
It was just it was one of those albums where just like, I could tolerate Peppa Pig and the Paw Patrol because at least it's upbeat. But those like cheesy Disney songs, I just don't want to listen to.
Someone hipped us in our household to what's called 20 trucks or truck tunes. And it started out with songs about 20 different, construction vehicles and things like that. Now they've got like every truck you could possibly imagine, the ice cream trucks, all the different things. And so that is the playlist that circulates in our car and what I get stuck in my head all the time. 10 out of 10 do not recommend.
Okay.
Do not recommend.
I will stay away from those songs.
Well, if you would consider yourself a massive fan of rock music, not 20 trucks and 20 truck tunes, if you're such a fan of rock music that you could name a song after only hearing 1 second of the chorus, we would love for you to prove it. And if so, you could win Asking Alexandria tickets. 206-803-ROCK. We're going to play Hook or Shook at 9:20.
The Daly Migs Show.
Love the flexibility of working in all sorts of places? Well, working on the go seamlessly requires a strong network like T-Mobile. We have America's largest 5G network, so whether you're on a video call at the park or uploading large files at the coffee shop, we have the 5G speed you need. Whatever takes you on the go, T-Mobile's got you covered. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/network today.
Coverage not available in some areas. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Yo, next round is about to start. You ready?
Yeah, just shopping for a car in Carvana.
For real?
Yeah, Carvana makes it super convenient to shop whenever, wherever.
For real? That's a ton of car options.
Yep, and these are all within my price range.
For really real? You can afford that?
Yeah, with Carvana. And boom, just like that, I'm getting it delivered in a couple days.
For really, really real? You just bought a car.
For real, and you just lost. My turn.
Visit Carvana.com to shop for thousands of vehicles under $20,000.
With LinkedIn Jobs, we tap into a network of more than 1 billion professionals to help you find quality professionals quickly and easily for any role you need. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found.
That project manager I could never seem to hire?
And found. LinkedIn Jobs quickly matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience. In fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/decide. That's linkedin.com/decide. Terms and conditions apply.
The Daily Migs Show presents the Extreme Music Showdown. Let's play Hook or Shook. Please sign this waiver before we continue. Thank you. We'll drop a 1-second snippet of the hook of a song. If you can't name the song, watch out. You're gonna get shook.
Rockaholics, it is time to play Hook or Shook on the Daily Migs Show. And this week, we are playing for Asking Alexandria tickets.
Nice.
They will be at the Showbox on May 15th. Our contestant this morning is Alan in Seattle. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning, guys.
So the way the game works is you have to get both songs right to win the prize. For that first song, you're going to be on your own. The second song, a member of our show at random must get it right for you. If you lose, caller 9 will get those tickets. So let's see who you are playing with. Will it be me, Migs, or Sarah?
Oh, is he going to land on Taryn for a change?
I finally got one. Yes.
Oh,
Is it? Wait. Oh. Nope.
It
Sorry.
actually left the Taryn side and joined the dark side of Steve Migs.
I thought for sure that landed on me. That's ridiculous.
It is a hair.
This game doesn't even like me, you guys.
I know.
And I'm good at this game.
Maybe that's why he doesn't like you. Well, I'm sorry, Taryn. You're out, and I'm in.
Well, Alan, I think you are in good hands with Steve. He has proven himself. He's very good at this game.
At least you didn't get Sarah.
That's what I was thinking. Sorry, Sarah.
All right, Alan. Are you ready for your first song?
Let's do this, Alan.
Yes. Dang, hold up. I gotta take my headphones off so I can actually hear that.
We can play it again.
We can
for
totally
you.
give you another listen.
Let us know when you're ready.
All right, do it again. That's like the hardest one you guys have ever played.
Would you like Steve to give you a hint?
Yes.
Oh, I got one, I think. I hope it's a good one. Hardware that's not drunk.
Hardware that's not drunk.
That's a great clue.
It's going to kill me when I hear it, I'm sure.
Can you give one more?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just make it one word. Maynard.
I can't do it.
Oh,
dang it.
Oh, man.
Sorry,
It's Tool, Sober.
That was a good hint and a good secondary hint.
Yeah.
Sometimes, the brain fog. It's a little rough in the mornings. I feel for you, Alan.
And then once you hear it, you're like, I can't believe I didn't get. It's like that on Beat Migs a lot of times. I'm like, I can't believe I didn't get that one right.
206-803-ROCK. Caller 9 is going to get those tickets now. Asking Alexandria at the Showbox on May 15th.
I just saw a picture that I think it was Tool. I can't remember if it was Tool or somebody posted of Maynard in the studio recording their first EP. And just seeing him that young, it was just such a trip. Like, man, talk about a cool time capsule picture to have. It's like the very first recording of what became such a groundbreaking band.
For sure. You know who's actually kind of credited with breaking the band? Our very own Kathy Faulkner. The late Kate, who used to be a part of this radio station for decades. She was the one that hipped the world to Tool.
Really? So she was playing the hell out of them? And then,
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then they played over at the Kitsap County Fairgrounds.
Yeah, I remember that.
That might have been 30 years ago this year.
Oh, my gosh. Don't make us feel any older.
I know. We are old. Well, Rockaholics, if there's something that we have talked about this morning that you want to talk about, we would ask for you to call us. 206-803-ROCK. We are going to check in with the Rockaholics after Stained.
The Daily Migs Show. The Daily Migs Show.
Throughout the morning, we have received calls and texts from Rockaholics that we have not yet had a chance to chat about. But right now, we want to talk to you, Rockaholics. So call us up if there is something that you would like to chime in about, anything that we talked about this morning, anything that's on your mind at all. 206-803-ROCK. And this morning, we did talk about our experience on Friday night. We were at a hotel and things were a little loud and crazy and wild.
Yeah, to sum it up in a real quick nutshell, this is what we heard outside of one of Sarah's hotel room, and I heard it from the other floor, so it was like a floor apart, and I could still hear this.
Hey! You!
And if you're wondering, what kind of craziness was happening at this hotel, a man playing video games. That's exactly what was happening.
He was very amped up.
And I guess he had his headphones on, and he got really into it. And next thing you know, they said that this is a guy that's been there time and time before, and he's always been a disturbance, and they kicked him out because of it.
He's never coming back.
Yeah, I bet he'd be back next week.
So to dovetail on that story, Bill in Seattle, you're going to tell us about a hotel story involving the bathtub.
Yes. Yeah, we kind of splurged and had a romantic weekend, my wife and I.
Nice.
And so we rented a jacuzzi room. Well, it wasn't like a real fancy place or anything, but we said, hey, a jacuzzi room sounds cool. So we're in there the first night and filling it up with water. My wife says, hey, I got some bubble baths. She always takes this little, bath kit thing with her wherever we go. And so she said, I got some bubble bath. We'll add little bubbles in there and turn the jacuzzis on. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. Well, we turned it on and then turned the jets on. And all of a sudden it looked like those old commercials where you put too much soap in the washing machine and just bubbles everywhere.
Oh, awesome.
And, oh, my God, we couldn't get the damn thing to turn off. So it keeps bubbling and bubbling. We're like, oh my God, we couldn't get it to turn off. So we started grabbing handfuls of bubbles and throwing them in the sink and throwing them in the toilet and everything.
I was going to say, how do you stop bubbling? Yeah, you just kind of have to deal with it, right?
Well, yeah, the jet thing, once we turned it on, I guess the switch got stuck or something. And it just kept jet, I thought, if we can get the jet turned off, it'll stop the bubbles. But we couldn't get the damn jet to turn off. And the switch was stuck halfway in there. Like I said, it wasn't a real fancy place. But
did you ever get into the tub?
Yes, we finally did. We finally got it shut off. I ran out to my car and grabbed a screwdriver and shoved it in there and finally got the damn thing to turn off.
Oh my God. I love that you're now doing the maintenance. That's fantastic.
And the best part is Bill got...
We did... What's that?
I would say you got hired by the hotel to do maintenance for the rest of the place as well, I bet, right?
Yeah. I probably could have done a better job at it.
For real.
Now, Michelle in Stanwood wants to talk about how she got fired. We were talking about, stories earlier of getting fired and being shocked that it happened. So, Michelle, what happened when you called your district manager the wrong thing?
Well, yeah, I got fired.
Yeah, he was a district manager. I was working at Kentucky Fried Chicken. I was only 15. I did not know what this word meant. And since I can't say it on the air, I'll just say battery-operated boyfriend. And, I mean, I thought everything was fine, and I finished my shift. His name was Mr. Cool. He always wore these blue polyester suits. He'd come in like twice a week. And he just thought he was, he could get any woman in the world.
Well, with that outfit, he can.
With that outfit and a bucket of chicken.
And that nickname.
There you go. Yeah. So, and he was flirting with one of the other coworkers. And so I said, "You're such a battery-operated boyfriend." So.
Does it rhyme with Schmildo?
Yeah, thank you.
That's fantastic.
From Mr. Cool to Mr. Schmildo.
I remember when you, there's been those times in the past where you've said a word and you didn't know what it meant until someone filled you in.
Oh, absolutely.
That's not a fun way to lose a job, though.
Oh, I mean, dude, there's certain words that, I absolutely can't say on the radio, but definitely that one. I guess you could have said rhymes with
Bilbo Baggins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rhymes with Bilbo.
Love that song.
Yeah.
Joe Dredd in Seattle, we're glad you called because we were earlier talking about the most redneckish thing that you've ever done. And you have a roadkill story.
Well, no, actually, Steve had brought this up. So back in the days of, what was it? I think it was K-Rock,
Yes.
Steve?
Yep.
Yeah, they had a contest. What would you do to win a Fat Boy motorcycle?
It was an awesome contest. Yeah, we're giving away a Harley Davidson, which was badass.
Yeah. So somebody that had some info on that was in the know said, yes, somebody in another city won it by eating his way through a pig's head. So why don't you do that? So I went to a butcher shop and I got a pig's head, took it home and slow baked it in the oven to kind of soften it up. And while I was looking at that, I go, you know what? There's no way I'm going to be able to eat my way through this. Let's put on a show. So what I did is I took a condom and I filled it up with stage blood and shoved it up inside the mouth cavity.
This is amazing.
You remember this?
Yeah, dude, I remember all of this. I forgot until you started talking about it. I remember you put on a show. It was like Gene Simmons. Full-on blood circle going on.
Yeah, so I've got this condom full of stage blood up inside the mouth cavity, and I made sure to wear a white T-shirt. And I had this thing up in front of me like I was wearing a mask, and I was like gnawing on it and pulling on it and whatnot. And that went on for a couple minutes. And then when I could tell everybody was getting bored, I bit into that condom, and this stuff just gushed down the front of my white shirt. The whole place erupted.
It's amazing.
People were freaking out. My wife said people were running for the door, puking outside in the parking lot.
Oh, no.
If I remember correctly, when it was going on, I thought to myself, I'm like, if you were just here at this establishment while we're doing it and had no idea what was going on, you're like, oh, let's see what this contest is all about. And there's Joe Dredd up there, and it's just a murder scene that's just all over his shirt, over him. It was insane.
Gosh, it was great.
Did you win the Fat Boy?
No, here's the thing though. I was disqualified because I'd already won a big prize previously from the station where my wife and I got to go down to Las Vegas, and that's where we got married. Was on this trip that we won.
Yep, I remember you guys won. Was that during the whole Olympics game that we did?
Yes, the whole Olympics, yes.
It was around the Olympics, and I thought it'd be a good idea to hire a couple of prostitutes to compete in Olympic games in our station. Let's just say it started off really well, but then it's shocking, but prostitutes that you find on the street are not very reliable. They didn't come back for day 2 of the Olympics.
What, was there a prize?
I mean, we gave them money. The prize was for the listeners, including a trip to Las Vegas, which Joe Dredd won.
And got married. It's a love story is what it is.
One of the competitions was we painted a plunger stick black and gave them sandpaper, and whoever could get the black paint off the quickest while you know your hand has to go in order to get that sand.
Yes, you don't have to mock it, Steve. We get the idea.
Yeah.
Did any of them use 2 hands, or was it just one piece of sandpaper?
It was so long ago I don't remember, but I remember thinking this is the greatest radio game I've ever come up with, and then they didn't come back for the next day, and I was like, this was a massive failure.
And was there ever a year 2 of the whole Olympics?
No, whole Olympics.
Whole Olympics.
Whole Olympics.
I mean, the Olympics are happening this summer, guys. We can
probably find now more reliable escorts, I bet. They might have to pay a little more. And they were gnarly.
Gnarly how?
How do you think? I mean, these were like Aurora girls. You know what I mean? It wasn't like some upscale escort thing going on. Like these.
It wasn't Julia Roberts.
These were hoes
in Pretty Woman.
No.
No.
But they didn't come back the next day. I was so sad.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Maybe we can bring it back. A man is suing Powerball for not paying him $340 million in winnings after he had the correct numbers on their website. Why didn't they pay him? We're going to tell you at 9:50.
The Daly Migs Show.
There's a man from Washington, D.C. His name is John, and he is suing Powerball and the D.C. Lottery for not paying him his money. And how much money you want to know, Steve?
How much?
$340 million in winnings because he had the right numbers on their website.
Oh, don't tell me the website was wrong.
The website was incorrect.
Oh.
They posted them by accident.
That would be such a dagger. Like here you are thinking, I'm so fired up. I just won $340 million, which is what, like $15 million after taxes. But I still that's a lot of money. And then you find out it's just a screw up. I'd be like, well, who's to say that's the screw up? What if the other thing's the screw up? Like the website's right. Everything else is wrong. Give me my money.
Well, the fact that he's taking legal action makes perfect sense to me, right?
Yeah, you would think.
I would.
I mean, I can understand where they're coming from. Where it was like, hey, it was a little bit of a faux pas on our end, but like you didn't win the money. We have proof that you didn't win the money, but still, like, I know pain and suffering is maybe not the right term, but like, you really wet my whistle. You should give me at least a few bucks.
That's like that level of disappointment is something that only that man will know. The rest of us will never know that level of disappointment. Thinking for a moment that not only has this changed the entire trajectory of your life, but also the generations to come after you and your family.
Like, how long did you know you had that money, or you thought you had that money until, like, what if he quit his job? I mean, you'd be an idiot in a sense. Like, you should make sure everything's all taken care of before you make these decisions. But what if knee-jerk reaction, he quit his job, he told his whole family, everything's great, and then next thing you know, he's like, hey, about that $340 million, I didn't win any of it.
His name is John Cheeks, and this is him talking about what happened.
Hey, this ticket is no good. Just throw it in the trash can. And I gave him a stern look. I said, in the trash can. He goes, oh, yeah, just throw it away. You're not going to get paid. There's a trash can right there.
It's right there, man. That's where they had me throw it away. John Cheeks, also, you can probably make some money just selling his name to like an adult film star. Like, that's a great name.
Cheeks is a great last name.
John Cheeks.
His lawyer talks about it, too.
There is precedent for this. A similar case happened in Iowa where a mistake was admitted to by a contractor and they paid the winnings out.
Now, I did see that this has happened before, but like the winnings were like $15 or $4 or $200 or $500. Like, I don't think there's been a precedent for a $340 million Powerball winner.
What do you think's going to happen?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I'm sure the Powerball and the lottery don't care about your emotions. They're not going to be like, oh, we're sorry you got sad for a second, you got excited for a second. But I feel like, how much would make him feel better?
More than $4 or $50.
But would like $1,000 be enough to be like,
Probably
hey,
not.
We're really sorry. I mean, I would take it. I mean, like this, I'm still unhappy, but I'll take your $1,000.
I want to follow this and find out how it shakes out.
What do you think? He's going to get like $1 million? He's not going to get that much money, I don't think, from this.
Well, we'll find out, Rockaholics. Over the weekend, 5 cyclists were attacked by a cougar in Falls City, Washington, and they survived. The story is completely nuts, and we're going to tell you all about it during the Daily Migs download after Tom Petty.
The Daily Migs Show. Knowledge is power. So give us 5-ish minutes, and we'll give you, some interesting stuff you can talk about at work. This is the Daily Migs download.
A.K.A. the DMD.
Here's your daily dose of doings happening in the world.
And the DMD is brought to you by Palace Law. And hey, happy birthday. Man, it's going to make you feel old. But happy birthday to the late, great Kurt Cobain. He would be 57 if he was still with us today. And this year in April will mark 30 years since we lost Kurt.
That's
1994 is when he passed away.
I can't believe that much time has passed and it feels so quick.
Right. I still feel like that's like, oh, that was like, what, like 20 years ago, 15 years ago? No, 30 years ago. Yesterday, It's an afternoon game, so at least we didn't have to go to bed mad, but we had to spend the rest of our day annoyed with the Kraken. Man, they put up a good fight against the Detroit Red Wings, went into overtime, and then lost it right away. They just can't seem to get it together during overtime, man. That was a rough one. Ben Sherratt scored about a minute into the overtime. Jared McCandle had a couple of goals for the Kraken. He's been playing really well, even though the team hasn't. Since that 9-game winning streak, they're 4-7-2 since they had that franchise best 9-game winning streak. Shout out to Joey Decord. He played well, but the goalie for the Detroit Red Wings, unstoppable. He was playing a phenomenal game yesterday. Kraken up next for them at home, Climate Pledge Arena against the Vancouver Canucks, and that's happening on Thursday night.
5 cyclists were attacked by at least one cougar in Fall City, and I say at least one because some of the eyewitnesses say that they believe there was a second cougar, but the only reason these cyclists survived is because they were able to pin down the one cougar with a bike and hold it there until the folks from Fish and Wildlife showed up, which is just insane.
That is quick thinking.
Oh yeah, I probably would have gotten eaten, honestly, Steve.
To be honest with you, I think about that sometimes with my kid. If a wild animal came, how am I going to handle that? I don't know why these thoughts come into my head, but they do. And even and a wild animal, as we're walking around our neighborhood in Puyallup, where there really aren't any wild animals.
You never know. They're very brazen.
Yeah.
They're getting closer and closer.
Like it was with you guys, I might just see how fast I am.
Oh, God. One of the women who was attacked is being treated in the hospital. Her injuries are not too crazy. She should be okay. Sergeant Carlo Pace with Fish and Wildlife Police comments on what happened.
The Fish and Wildlife officer shot and killed this cougar before it could do more damage. They held him down with a mountain bike. I don't know how they did it, but they did. So you want to act big, you want to make noise, you want to act large, you want to fight back if you're attacked.
Yeah, they say if you run, then you look like prey, so you're not supposed to run.
She's screwed either way.
Yeah. Would you not just want to get on your bike and ride faster?
I didn't even think about that. You have the bike. See how fast I can go. And you're still going to go faster than your 4 other friends. That's terrible.
Oh, Steve.
I have to say, though, that is quick thinking. Act big and then grab your bike and just pin the cougar down until you can get somebody to take care of it.
I mean, think about how much strength you all have to keep him there.
Speaking of cougars, Madonna had her show on Sunday at the Climate Pledge Arena. A little bit of a mishap making national news because of it. Everyone's talking about her Climate Pledge Arena show because while she was performing her hit song, you remember Open Your Heart?
Open your heart to me.
Well, I guess there's a choreographed routine during that song where she's sitting on a chair and one of the dancers comes from behind. He kind of drags her across the stage. Well, he tripped. She went down. They both started laughing. She started laughing. He's probably worried for his job, but she started laughing while her vocal track of Open Your Heart continued to go, which I thought was kind of funny. But I don't think anyone's going expecting her to sing all the songs. She's like 65 years old. I think a lot of people were happy that she actually went on stage not that late. I think it was right around 10:30, which is still late.
Yeah.
But there were a couple opening acts, so it wasn't 11 o'clock or 11:30 like some people have had to experience before in the past.
We got to get to bed. It's a school night, yo.
Well, she's getting older, so now I'm saying 10:30 is early for her.
Yeah, she takes her Centrum Silver afterwards. Boom. Everything's good. A guy in Nebraska was cleaning out his glove box and he found an old unscratched lottery ticket for a game called Trucks and Bucks.
Trucks and Bucks.
And turns out he won the grand prize, which was a new Ford F-150 pickup. He'd been driving around with the ticket for months. So they took care of the taxes. The full thing was valued at $81,000.
To be honest, when I first saw this story, I thought it said for years he's had that. And I'm like, well, did they give him the truck from that year or did they give him the current truck? You know what I mean? Because it said a new truck. How does that work out? Do you get the one? That's pretty awesome. What a great prize.
I think that's amazing.
Hey, weather today, we're going to hit a high of 54 degrees. Sorry to get people excited. It's not short weather just yet. High of 54. It's going to rain, and that's what's up.
Ryan Castle is up next with your Morning 12 Fact.
The Daily Migs Show.
With LinkedIn Jobs, we tap into a network of more than 1 billion professionals to help you find quality professionals quickly and easily for any role you need. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found.
That project manager I could never seem to hire?
And found. LinkedIn Jobs quickly matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience. In fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/decide. That's linkedin.com/decide. Terms and conditions apply.
Love the flexibility of working in all sorts of places? Well, working on the go seamlessly requires a strong network like T-Mobile. We have America's largest 5G network, so whether you're on a video call at the park or uploading large files at a coffee shop, we have the 5G speed you need. Whatever takes you on the go, T-Mobile's got you covered. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/network today.
Coverage not available in some areas. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready to check one off the bucket list? Slotzilla is the world's ultimate zipline at Fremont Street Experience in fabulous downtown Las Vegas. Launch 35 miles per hour from the largest slot machine in the world. Zoom over thousands of onlookers. And under Viva Vision, the biggest digital display ever. Bask in the glow of the neon marquees of the original Strip's iconic casinos. Visit VegasExperience.com for Slotzilla. That's VegasExperience.com.